Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. All of the cameras, for some reason, are shifted or wonky. We have been having so many technical difficulties tonight that I'm just going to roll with it, and I'll deal with that in the intro, hopefully, and see what the matter is there. But I hope you're all having a wonderful week. It's been a little while since we've been here, so let's just cover a few things to get started. The first thing I just wanted to point out is we have Ghibli back! Which is, like, just funny enough, the only camera other than Mordred that's working right now. But working properly is Ghibli and Mordred. But everyone else is here. We have a full party tonight. So we're really excited to advance the story. As always, we have a few things to cover. The first one being, if you want to support this show, the best way to do it is through, I don't know why I've become a weird version of Sean Connery, is through Patreon. Patreon gives us the best cut and helps us create more broadcasts like this and all of our other fun projects. So if you like this show, if you like our Cyberpunk show, a lot of the funding comes from there and we get the biggest cut. But also, if you want to join us and you're watching live on in our Twitch chat, if you become a sub, we do have some custom emotes for you to play with. That's another way that you can support us. And also just sharing our broadcasts and watching our broadcasts. That does a lot to support us. You know, if you're watching the YouTube videos, remember to give us a like. I promise I will, eventually find a way to keep ahead of the game on getting the videos out on there. But yeah, and other than that, another little piece of Component Cast news is we now have like 5 or 6 of the 10 tracks back from the arranger for the first Elendor Chronicles soundtrack. The first of which you heard in this intro and have been hearing in the intro for the last couple of weeks, and is available to patrons. I will be sending you the, once we've got thus far, back now to I think I'll be doing that tonight if I remember. But yes, patrons, you all get downloads of the MP4s as we get them, and the higher quality WAVs when we will have them done at the end, and we'll have extra broadcast rights. But the whole idea of that project is they are going to be completely royalty free and hosted on places like Spotify for you to use in your games at home or just listen to eventually. But anyway, I've been talking for too long. I've got some cameras to fix. You know what? Let's get on with tonight's broadcast. I purposely left that so I'd to unmute after Valville will stop speaking, but we are back. So, as it's been a little bit of a time, I am going to do the recap this week. But I still need to put a point of inspiration on the line. So, I have devised a way of doing this. Who would like to undertake a challenge this week? Where I am going...
depends on what the challenge is.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to say a piece of Elendor Chronicles lore. And the person who can answer it gets a point of inspiration.
Ask me the questions, Bridgekeeper. I am not afraid.
Answer me these questions 3. What is your quest?
I still don't know.
Actually, yeah, don't have an answer on that one.
Fair enough. Yeah, just fully Python this. No, but yeah.
Save Elendor? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
Okay. piece of Elendor Chronicles lore. I'm not revealing what the lore is. I want to know who wants to undertake the question.
Sure, why not?
You
I'll
want to
play.
go for it? Okay. You know what? I'll be fair. If Beth can't get it, we'll open it up to one more person. There'll be a total of 3 guesses within the party. As
The buzz-in functionality? Yeah.
Wait, open up the soundboard.
There is a buzz-in functionality.
there is a buzz-in functionality, yeah, technically with the soundboard and stuff now. Although I won't know who's buzzed. Okay.
We all got to get our own individual sound.
It'll pop up who has done a sound.
Okay. Do you want the question?
Sure.
What is Joanna's mother's name?
Something Von Brandt. Ichabod was dad. Shoot.
Marcia.
Don't know. I know the dad. I don't know the mom.
Mrs.
She was created as a golem.
Duchess.
It was the wife's appearance though.
The wife did exist and was the mother died. Remember, whilst pregnant, and that's that whole situation occurred.
Are we sure it's not Marcia? That normally fixes a lot of problems, I've been told.
It's,
It's Martha.
Martha?
Martha. Fine, it's called
Yeah,
Martha
so-
too. Oh my god.
I've honestly scrubbed that memory from my brain, so it's
Yeah,
lucky I got that far.
Sophia.
Beat you to it. I never watched the movie.
Oh, we had the correct answer. Ding ding ding. Zep, you get the point of inspiration.
Well,
Well,
that's,
would get it.
that's
It's the
that's
kingdom
clearly
he's from.
biased. Yeah, he's from there.
Kingdom
You can't
bias.
say it.
Sophia.
Sophia von Brandt.
Because it was the fake name that Joanna was travelling under.
Sure. No, unfortunately, I just remember Ichabod. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well,
Sophia.
there we go. There we have it.
The Chancellor
Yes.
of Lakensburg Lands was, but no, I don't have Joanna's mother's name.
The one person who fails to roll under a 30 clearly in need of that inspiration.
Do you happen to for a bonus bardic inspiration D12 that I'll allow you to give to one of your party members? Do you have Joanna's mother's maiden name?
No.
Is this linked into some Ruby lore? So
Wait, what?
yeah.
Yeah,
open
going back
the
far enough, your
Ricky.
father or your mother was indirectly related to the Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking like generations and generations ago.
Yeah,
but
see-
yes.
yeah. It would have made Joanna your great
wait,
grand
no.
aunt. Oh.
Spielman.
Yes, there you go. Okay, so you can have a D12 bardic inspiration die on top of that. So that's a fun little way of us doing the inspiration die without doing a recap.
See, I would do that for my campaigns, but all my players just go, huh?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm also rewarding good notes. So I might just start pulling this instead for the next couple of
I'm screwed
episodes.
I feel personally attacked right now.
I'll make some Valmir related questions. It's fine.
Yay, I'll still forget.
Anyway, everybody, we're joining us this week as a few things have unfolded, and because we got Ghibli back, I'm gonna roll back the story in this description for a little while. Back, the party recently, after triumphanting over Valmir's bloodfather, shall we say, decided to continue venturing. Well, they reached a fork in the road in their path, whether to go back to Longreach or to do some final investigation here on Solarum before heading back. After a vote and some discussion, you did decide to check out the Vestilian Theocracy, where some of the seals of Elendor were supposedly kept, and in fact you headed to a city which the capital city of Ilathilia, which stood on the Targead outskirts of what was once the Azdakian Caliphate and was the capital city of the theocratic realm that had taken over that portion of the continent. The wastelands that it was surrounded by, or should I say wilds, only inhabits two major cities. The capital, which is vast, and a small town which is said to be the birthplace of the hero. But when you all arrived, you were greeted by a grisly sight. The true nature of the aftermath of everything that had been going on within the severe dragon attack and the lack of support culminating that they'd received post facto had left the place devastated and destroyed, and it infuriated a lot of the party, and they set out to try and fix some things, as well as trying to continue their quest, find out how the seals were here. After some investigation, you discovered that a lot of the city's problems had been found due to both a multitude of reasons, including the fact that infiltrators had continued to affect the city throughout its recovery period, not to mention the harsh winters and the severe lack of supply, and the disorganization brought about by both the war on the other continent and just within the city itself and its loss of life, left for a very dire and almost irrecoverable situation. You did discover, however, that the majority of, well, both of the seals were, in fact, as far as you're aware, okay. However, due to the ramping politics and a slight fumbled situation involving some prisoners, whilst you were doing a lot of good, you were forced out of the city. And you are now on a path to either fix that problem or never return. But with the theocracy behind you, you took some respite in Korzak, enjoying a nice evening together with your closest members of your crew. You ate and enjoyed a night away. However, it's towards the end of that evening that we return. Now, if I remember correctly, you said that majority of your characters of note were with you in this moment. That the named characters are all present and accounted for.
And we have been drinking and...
Mm-hmm.
I would point out, because it didn't come up before the end of the session, because it kind of ended off at a point. At some point in the night, once people start getting deep in their cups, Darius does leave.
Okay. Then Darius...
So whenever that's worked out, that's fine.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay, cool.
DC 21.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, I have a +7 to this. You know, I shouldn't say words.
Apparently it's +8, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because I do have the ring of protection. Yep, that is.
Tempered the wrath of a good ever from
So
my
what
top
did you get?
I got a 18, but I could do Indomitable.
Why not?
I mean, why not? It's a long rest, and it feels like I'm gonna get like blackjacked in the back of my head. Is what's happening right now. So I'm gonna do that.
Your bad dreams are gonna assault you in the middle of the street.
Yeah, no, that's 15. So that was even worse. So who
Darius,
assaults me, Midge?
as you begin to walk back to the skyship it's just post sunset, as we left off, kind of at a sunset, and James
Darius is overlooking
we
the
also
plains.
we did leave off with James losing the connection that he had made on the dragon that you were tracking for a moment, and then it reopening again. But Darius, you're walking between some of the sort of log hut cabin construction when
Yep. Get mugged.
a bag falls in front of you.
Falls in front of me or falls on my head? Just...
Falls in front of you, and out of it spews
Oh, no.
powder.
Oh, hey! Oh, I've been hoisted by my own petard.
Is this the consequences of my own actions? I didn't
And
sign up for
Darius,
this.
as you
This is last words.
as you feel nauseous and begin to feel very woozy with the last moments of your after image of what you see a very slender white orc handed a bag of money by someone very familiar to you, a half elf.
You dick.
And
Just go straight down.
you go over. The rest of you are still in the restaurant when suddenly a member of your crew rushes in. And they rush right to you, Zeb. Master Ghostman, there are men on the ship.
I assume you do not mean crewmen.
No, they stormed it. They've taken it by force, but I don't think anyone's been killed, but there's a few people hurt, and they sent me to you.
Then we should go and answer this. I'm afraid that the feast is now over.
Yeah, Marcus overhearing this, like he's like has like a bread roll in his like mouth, and it's just kind of he quickly he's like checking himself, and he like instantly takes off. The rest of you, are you taking off?
Yes. Running.
Okay. Darius, just as a quick question, Claudia was at the restaurant. Did you tell her that you're leaving? I'm trying to make the assessment of if she's with the party or not.
I don't think Daria, because Claudia, because she's got friends in the crew. There's Zaraj, and there's people she talks to normally. So I don't think Darius would have made any move to ruin her fun. Darius
No. But did you say I'm gonna go catch some sleep? Would you have let her know, or would you have just left? Oh, okay.
No, Darius got like a cup of meat in his tankard of sobriety, and just like looked like if I was just getting away from people, and then just wasn't there anymore. Just like melted into the background.
We'll say she's still there at the moment then, with the rest of you.
In approaching the ship, Siraj would like to sneak, so either I'm running ahead of the group or I'm lagging behind the group by enough that their loud footsteps don't interrupt my
Pick one.
stealthiness.
Are you instantly taking off and getting ahead so that you can stealth up, or are you going to hold behind?
I'm actually much faster than everyone else.
Okay.
So I will go ahead and stealth.
Siraj, you see, you manage to start running, and as you get almost back to the ship, you see a group of individuals with Darius completely KO'd over their between their shoulders with a sack on his head as they drag him back towards the ship.
Very unflattering.
I am sure that that's Darius.
It's like Darius's armor is very much known to you at this point. Like they've stylized their clothes enough that you know that that's Darius. It's like he has like 4 of the same cloak. That is the so it's not dirty.
You're not going to see a lot of people wearing like mithril chainmail.
Yeah, that
on
too.
there. And he's also distinctly short, so that also might give you a clue.
They don't seem to be aggressive right now. They've black bagged him and they're dragging him back to your ship, essentially.
So
Are we
now I have
within
to ask a
sight?
weird question, Midge.
Hmm.
How far away from the ship were we?
You're in town, so you're like 10 minutes.
Okay. because depending on where my horse is intelligent enough to let me know because it can communicate as long as we're in a mile of each other.
Oh.
If it's on the ship, it probably would have told me the second somebody started attacking the ship.
That's a point then.
If
For
we went
ease,
through this
I
narrative-
think the horse is in town with you for ease of
That's
this.
fair. If we want to use that for the narrative, that's fine. I was just pointing out but that means I do have my horse with me.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Some of us can get back to the ship far faster than the rest of us.
Absolutely.
And you said there are 2 people with Darius, or just 1?
No, there's 2 people holding Darius, but there's about 10 in total.
Oh.
I was afraid of this.
Are there any buildings that she can set on fire?
I mean, this
No.
town is
Last time
entirely
she was
log
outnumbered.
construction.
All right, here's the plan, guys. We seal the ship and then we set the ship on fire. They can't get out.
No, I
Please
was told
don't.
that that's considered a war crime.
It's also our home.
I ain't seen no town of Geneva.
Darius, before this plan.
I'm going to cast Entangle on the 2 dudes that are supporting Darius so that hopefully I can stop them on the street before we get back to the ship and that the rest of the party can catch up. And question, do I hear the clip-clops of the horse coming up the street? Like, do I know I have backup close, or am I just...
I mean, you do hear because you took off, but it's not that long that you do see Breton, but everyone else is kind of just like,
Having knowing that it's like we need to rush and seeing Breton hop on his horse, I would have used the fly from the glove and cast fly myself to speed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Try
so
and
I'm
keep
gonna cast Entangle, and that will be a what's my spell?
what's the distance of entangle?
That's a very good question. It
What's
is.
the range
I will
of the
put
spell?
it in the chat. Maybe not, because apparently I doesn't. It's a strength save, DC 14, 20-foot square. So as many people as I can target in a 20-foot square, prioritizing the 2 people who are holding Darius.
So repeat that again. It's a
20-foot square.
Up to 90 feet away.
90 feet. Oh, that's the question I wanted. The
I'm
distance away. Okay. And what's the DC? Did you say?
It's a strength save, DC 14.
Okay.
Good thing I nat 20'd my stealth roll with a 39 to stealth.
Is that like a new record for us? Like,
It's
I
a
feel
33.
Like it might be.
That wasn't an advantage. She just rolled 2d20. But still a 33. It's a very respectable roll.
9, 10. Okay. 3 of them fail and get like tripped up. Darius also fails, and they're instantly grappled by the entanglement. As the rest of the
good.
people look around.
Darius is entangled. That means if they want to just pick up and run away, they can't because they have to pull him free.
Yeah, but I did fall like a good 3 feet unaided, and then just
It's in the presumably soft like vines and brush and stuff. Yeah, it's Capillo.
it's gonna be whiplash when I wake
Okay.
up.
Then one of them who seems to be leading the group, their eyes then like sort of glance around and they catch eyes with you, like held in a like your whatever casting position you just took, and they went,
This is how I cast that spell.
just like, okay, they just cracked the neck.
Hey, you put him down. You leave him alone.
He's just motioning you to come over here as the rest of them start cutting back the vines from their legs.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Well, if I am allowed, I would like to pull out my bow and shoot the guy. I'm not approaching.
Oh, okay.
Will shoot.
Just to double check, what are they all wearing? Like
Majority green. Green and yellow.
do they have a distinctive like crest on their cloaks. or
Yeah,
something
they
like
do.
that
But you're
somebody might-
unconscious.
No, I'm saying somebody who's close to Darius might recognize and maybe not kill family member on accident. It's a possibility.
Well,
Well, I just would also like to point out that I met the party by being contracted to speak to the Reynards, so I would know at least a family sigil.
okay. Give me a perception check. Do
It
you
wouldn't
have?
be the family sigil. It would be the
Do you have-
whoever they're attached with? But yeah.
Yeah. Do you have dark vision? You do,
I
don't
do
you?
have dark vision, but perception
She's a cat.
Double checking. Come on.
14.
14.
For reference, they're not small. Like Darius
Yeah,
is larger than normal, but they're like a good like hand and a half size, like tall, like normally.
Okay. Yeah. There's a clear sigil of a like white stag on a yellow and green striped field. Similar to not the main Reynard symbol, but has similar. It's really similar, to be fair, to Darius's symbol, if you've, which I'm pretty sure you probably would have seen.
Yeah, no, it's
probably-
embroidered on
Yeah.
all of his cloaks.
Yes.
Okay, I don't shoot, but I have the bow out. And I'm looking also over my shoulder to make sure that my party is joining me.
I would say
Just
that Breton would reach there first.
Just don't want you killing my brother. Like an accident.
Leave him alone. I don't want to shoot you, but I will.
I don't want to shoot you either. That's why I was gesturing you here so we can have a conversation.
Oh. Okay, well, one moment, please, and I wait for at least Breton to catch up.
Breton does.
Then I guess the first question I have. Zaraj is hiding. Do I even see where Zaraj is?
No. I unhid once I cast the spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Breton is a knight and also is familiar with the Renar family. Would he recognize, not the direct family itself, but obviously this seems to be extended Renars, especially since he very recently had to deal with the fact that, like,
Yes, this is
We've
clearly
dealt with-
connected to the Reynards in some way.
that rather than just leaping into the middle of these guys and going to fucking town, which was the first inclination of somebody fucks around and finds out with the party, he is going to ride up and start to dismount from his horse, mentally tell his horse, turn to the party, grab anyone you can, and get back here as fast as possible. I also imagine if Valmir cast Fly, he should be at the same speed as Breton, because Fly is pretty fast.
How fast is the horse?
Horse is 60 feet around.
Fly
Yeah,
is
that's
65.
60, not dashing, right?
Not dashing, yes.
Yeah.
Dashing is 120 around, but Fly is the same speed.
Can you dash or fly?
Yeah.
Don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Action surge. Fuck you, I go faster. No, I don't use that.
Yeah, flying speed of 60. So yeah, Valmir would be there at the same time, flying above.
He will tell the horse, go back, grab someone else. Get everyone here. Before he just turns towards the others and say, I don't suppose you can offer me an explanation for why you're kidnapping a friend of mine.
I don't suppose you can offer me an explanation as to why you've kidnapped a family member of my employer.
I haven't done anything, nor have I kidnapped anyone.
No, but he has.
Actually, I believe that what you are infringing upon is Claudia's free will. And she is her own person and may make her own decisions. And I don't agree with the way that your family has ownership over each other. And if you would like to speak to Claudia, that is a story between your family, but you cannot take him.
Well, we're taking him to have a conversation with one of his brothers. So,
Well, maybe it can be done amicably. I'm shouting up. I'm above. Maybe it can be done amicably instead of with a bag over his head.
Oh, I believe the amicable solution was left behind when you went across your word, and even at the end of a fair fight, maneuvered to play us. So, you can sit on that high horse, or you can let the family deal with it.
Has everybody else showed up?
At this time, people can start to be dragged in by the horse. And
Ruby, I would
choose the
let
horse.
Ruby go next on the horse.
Oh no,
Darius
Ruby.
is my family now.
So,
So transitively, family of my family is now I'm in your family too.
You probably owe some money then. He smirks.
Yeah,
Actually, I like this
that
arrangement.
all sounds great and all, but we also have word that you've assaulted our ship and injured our crew, so this is quickly becoming a more personal affair for us than just taking somebody who supposedly has done you wrong.
There were a few injuries on both sides, yes, but we had under firm authority of you lot being a flight risk, frankly, so we seized an opportunity.
Ruby just starts.
Zero authority on our ship.
Ruby just starts laughing and says, "Let me get this straight. You guys attacked our ship in the middle of the night, kidnapped one of our crew, and think you have authority. Here's my response to that. Go home, or every single one of you will die."
I don't make those orders, I'm sorry. So,
Okay.
would you accompany me to...
Nope. Ruby's gonna cast Wall of Fire.
Okay, you are going to hit
Around the group.
Darius.
No,
do know
around
this.
the group. Around them.
Okay. How far away are you?
Well, if I know. I don't see the map. She's next to Breton and Zaraj.
Okay, so
So
probably...
we're at least 60 feet for my entangle. 90 feet for my entangle.
What level is that spell?
4.
Okay, I'm going to have to roll.
And it's a range of 120 feet.
Yes, but if you've joined, have you joined next to the
Yes.
conversation? Okay.
God, excuse me.
Wait, do any of them look like they're casting spells?
Yeah.
Huh?
Does
Well-
anybody look like they're getting ready to counterspell me?
Absolutely.
Brett counterspells them.
Okay.
No, I will fucking counterspell them.
Sure.
you don't know how many mages there are in the
Then
group, though.
you counterspell their counterspell. The wall of fire erupts around as you begin to set fire to the center of this wooden town.
And I'm the war criminal.
Yeah, you don't have any. It's
Okay,
either
I was
it burns
under
on
the impression
the
we were
inside or
outside the
outside.
town. I'm sorry.
No,
Like,
you're in a market square right now.
See, I thought we were outside of town on the field going up to...
No, you did. They didn't get that far.
Oh. Siraj ambushed in the middle of, between
What?
buildings.
yeah, I thought
Okay,
we were on
then.
a ship.
Sorry, I would not light a building on fire. I thought
Well,
we were
the buildings
outside.
aren't on fire. I'm just saying that there's fire close to buildings in the middle of a
I'm
town.
telling you, I would not cast Wall
Okay.
of Fire if I knew we were inside the town.
You are inside the town.
Okay, sorry.
Do you have another means of trying to stop them?
I do, in fact, have one. It's called Wall of Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just retcon that to be force, not fire.
Yeah, you can do a wall of force if you want.
That's fine.
You gonna be able to get everybody? There's 12 people in the group in the wall
Yeah.
I
forces.
could do a pretty substantial
It's
cone. At the very
11
least, I'll
people
get-
in the group if they're including you, which they would be. So,
And it's a
Well, if
phone,
they're
right, or
in the
pyramid?
town between buildings, you don't have to completely wall them off. You just have to put a wall between where they're going so they can't leave.
Yeah, it's it's a barrier around them. Not over them, but around.
Just for clarification, is it semicircle behind?
Oh, horseshoe shaped. So they're facing us. They have to come towards us to get out.
I'll be flying like a bit closer. I'll be around about 35 feet away at this point.
Okay.
And maybe 20 feet off the ground.
he's just stood there.
Release him.
No.
You
I'm
are not making this very easy. We do not need to have any confrontation in this town.
No,
If you
we
can
don't.
Release him, we can go back to the ship and have a conversation, but we will not do it with Darius bound and hooded.
He's only got about 10 minutes or so before he wakes up anyway.
Or we can wake him up right now and you can let him speak for himself.
Any of you a cleric?
Breton will just move forward. He hasn't drawn any weapons yet, but he has stopped a counterspell.
Is it a magical effect?
It would require a lesser restoration.
Oh, you all know that Darius has things that can counter lesser restoration in his pack.
What, like a
Britain.
pizza or something, though, isn't it?
No,
Like,
he has the
Yeah, it's a bit of food. So all you
soldier
gotta do
pie.
is,
It's a
like, put it in
soldier's
his
pie.
mouth and just like massage his throat. It'll.
Breton more than has this. Assuming he'll just walk into the middle of the group, just kind of looking at each of them. I don't imagine any of these people are as tall as him. Maybe are any of them?
How tall are you
mentioned
again?
There was a half orc, 7'7".
No, because the half orc. You recognize the half orc. It's the half orc that gave you the recommendation of where to eat.
Okay then.
Paid for his silence.
You paid for his silence. They paid for theirs.
They paid more.
Yeah, I'm doing this number to him.
Sure. Breton will reach down, and assuming this is a poison, 5 points of lay on hands can cure a poison. If that doesn't work, I have lesser restoration too.
It's applying essentially the unconscious status effect.
Well, lesser restoration also doesn't fix that, so being a cleric's not going to help. you.
Well, it's not as potent as he's essentially sleeping,
Slap is awake.
but it's a little bit more powerful than that.
Water spray.
But you know what? So does it fix? Hold on, let me read it. Lesser restoration. You know what? For the sake of brevity, lesser restoration. Darius, you feel linen over your face. You can
Darius, is
slightly
somebody
see
messing with
through
your
it.
stuff.
Well,
Twitch,
I feel my neck hurts. What happened?
Just gonna pull the hood off.
Why am I?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
You are surrounded by a large group of Martin's troops, and by the looks of it, Thorin
So they've
is
attacked the ship.
with their arms
secured the
closed,
position of it.
just with their arms crossed just behind Breton's shoulder as Breton's talking.
Hello, Thorin. It's good to see you. It's Martin here, I assume.
Yeah, you'd like a word.
All right. Well, you could have just asked.
Couldn't take that chance, Darius.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
Before we go, please get your friends to... Well, there's a giant wall of force stopping us, and they're looking to murder us all. So
Ruby,
let's not
stand
add to the
down.
crimes, shall we?
Nobody gets to beat up Darius but me, but she'll disable it.
Is
We still
Claudia
owe you
with
one for
us?
attacking our ship.
Claudia's
she
not
caught
with
up?
you. No, she did not
Yeah,
catch up.
Darius does a surreptitious look around and he doesn't see Claudia.
Nope, no one sees Claudia.
All right, that makes him feel better. Hopefully. So, in irons then, or are we more?
No, we were just...
How's he wanting to handle this?
You can walk if you're gonna come with us.
Good, let's go. And Zep.
Okay. Darius does not try and get away from the group, sensing
don't-
that would be a
Yeah.
bad decision.
You
He
are
just
still
kinda
firmly in a
walks.
square of these individuals.
Yep. Do I recognize a lot of them?
Familiarity, no one of like name outside of Thorin.
Cool.
Like it's in fact
It's Martin's company.
yeah, it's
That's
just Martin's company, but Actually, Thorin doesn't have Martin's crest on them.
What crest does he have?
Thorin has just colors, just Reynard colors.
Okay. Interesting.
You know, Darius, I was on a completely different job. Then I got a message from Valdin, said that you've been sighted.
Yes, I ran into a few of his comrades in not too far from here. It's unfortunate crossing of paths wasn't planned. Didn't mean to inconvenience you.
You inconvenienced me a long time ago.
Darius goes quiet. Darius just kind of sulks back down and goes totally quiet.
Fair enough. The rest of you doing anything? Or are you just walking back to the ship?
Flying
Angrily.
alongside.
Walking back to the ship.
Angrily walking back to the ship? Or like clenched
With an
fists?
attitude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breton is just being imposing, standing next to Darius.
Sure. No problem. It's probably one of the longest 10 minutes the party has ever shared in this march through the streets. Every now and then you see certain like peasants kind of like looking and then shuttering their houses a little bit as you walk on past.
Is that half orc still with us?
Yes.
Ruby is staring at him.
Make an intimidation check.
You swear her eyes are going a little bit on fire. Intimidation.
Isn't that normal?
He's just
You're
counting
walking on the
money.
cobblestones, but like your ankle kind of like gives out.
No,
and you look like
slap the money out of his hand.
She's been eating spicy like barbecue, drinking booze and dancing all night.
Looking for a fight.
I have to imagine she's pissed, but like it's hard to be pissed about this because it's been a really good night.
It's also, yeah, it's pissed and also punch drunk. So yeah. So but eventually you're led back to the ship. And as you can see, it is like ringed by pikemen, like standing guard, facing outwards. The drawbridge open. All of you are let on board and
Rough
off
count. How many around?
around. Circling, probably close to 50, just because of the size of the ship.
Okay.
We can take
And then as you progress, like every deck of the ship, at least another 50. Like they are like your crew are like confined to quarters or confined to not really transiting many of the rooms. There's like a double posting on every door. It's
his whole company.
I'm gonna go through and administer aid to anybody who got injured.
already been taken care of. Both Moses and also what seems to be a couple of clerics from the company are tending to wounded of both sides. It was more of a case of people got wounded when trying to subdue the ship, but it wasn't like they've been left without rendered aid. It's like one of those things of they didn't want to have.
Attack.
It was like one of those things they didn't want to have to actually hurt people, but some people got hurt anyway because natural response.
Want to be the hero.
Natural response to those kind of things. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's
So for
all
reference,
a lot of superficial wound. Yeah.
If it's his whole company, that means there's close to 300 plus people here.
I would still go and get a head count. Like that's what I would be doing.
Marginal.
Zep would go with you as well.
Going and checking all our crew and seeing also where and how they're stationing up.
Okay.
Like Both sides, like our crew, and then I'll be keeping an eye on their crew and see.
Your
how
crew are allowed to continue certain duties, but it seems a lot of weaponry has been confined to armaments lockers. People aren't allowed to open carry right now, but they're not like intruding on people's liberties. They're just intruding on the ability to resist. As for the guarding, there's various like the majority of the people from bottom up to the top deck seem to be like just men-at-arms of various stature. A lot more close quarters weaponry as you go inside the ship. Nobody's carrying a pike inside, kind of thing. But as you go to the top deck, if you're going to the top deck, where Darius, you are met with a very familiar couple of people, which we'll get onto. So there was a lot more like knights and people who could be spellcasters, who instead of wearing green are wearing blue. Speaking of which, Darius, as you are led to the top deck with any party member that wishes to join, you see clear as day in front of you Valden, Anton, Martin, and oh gosh,
Phil.
Gweg.
No, it's
Greg.
talking. Are we looking?
yeah, no, I've got it.
Namara.
Sorry, I just no. You see Demetrius.
Okay, cool. This is not going well.
So yeah, so basically Martin's son, eldest.
Eldest.
Yeah.
Right. No, that speaks some volumes about what's going on then. Cool.
What's Darius's facial expression upon seeing this?
It's
Yes,
been
Darius?
very much, yeah, it's been super neutral ever since the cutting remark back from Theron. But basically, as soon as like the crest up the stairs and sees the group of individuals on the other side, Darius, Zaraj wouldn't know this, but Zep, Ruby, and Valmir would. He gets a lot more like what he was earlier in the campaign in terms of like just it's very much a like a lot more nothing on the face, just super repressed, like any expression. The only thing you do see is that like as soon as he sees Martin and his other like brothers, just like a something you've seen lately is a facial twitch just starts coming up. That's pretty noticeable. That's about what you see. He makes no comment or anything. Just goes forward, keeps his hands visible and to the side as much as possible.
There is a shit-eating grin across Martin's face. Hello, Darius. You're a very hard man to find.
So, hello, Martin. Anton, didn't expect you.
I had to cut a deal. Anton's just slow shaking of the head. Seems, Dari, that you've been causing quite the stir about the family.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, you should see Gabriella. Sorry, Gabrielle. She is pissed. I wouldn't care, but Father's also pissed. And you You're just the right medicine. Also, where are my manners? Greetings to you all. My name is Martin Reynard of the Second Reynard Company. This is my son, Demetrius. And this is my younger brother, Anton. We are deeply apologetic of the situation we find ourselves in. However, our hand was a little bit forced. All those who were injured in our attempt of apprehension have been treated for, and all medical expenses will be charged and will be covered by us. However, under company mandate 6-3, we are having to retain both Darius and Claudia Reynard for questioning. And we have the legal authority to enact these here in Korzak. So you are without legal recourse to resist. You are completely free to go about your business, but for the time being, we need your friend.
No.
Well, if we are free to go, I would like to take Zep with me. We have some things we should be doing, Zep.
Zep's not there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because I was looking to the crew with James. Would I have returned at some point during this, or?
Probably about now, honestly. You do note, like, quite quickly as well, Marcus is like, look, I will see to the, I will see to the rest of the crew. But everything seems to be okay as it can be right now.
Darius, do you want to go home with your family?
I don't have the right to say no, sir.
You do?
Not legally.
Fuck legally. Do you want to go with them?
I'd rather not, but I also don't want people getting hurt here. Pointedly looks at not Martin, but Anton.
She'll look at Martin. There's your answer.
Well, then I'm going to have a request that if you are going to try and intercede, that I'm giving you this moment to put down any weapons. You do not have the authority here to intercede with what we are doing. And even if you kill me, or my company, or my brother here, or anyone on our payroll in this matter, it's not going to go well for you in the grand scheme of things. Look, we're not here to harm anybody, but if we are forced to, we will.
Ruby, you see Darius look at you pleadingly to just like a slight.
Yeah, I know.
Just nod.
Two questions from my end as well, not in character.
Mm-hmm.
One, the ship, how is it tied down, if it is?
It's however you landed it.
So there probably are ties.
Anchor. Isn't it anchor?
Don't you have like landing gear? Don't you like feet? I think it's feet. You have like landed feet, and then you tie.
Like if it's here because we're doing trade, which I think we were. No, we weren't because we were not loaded.
No, you were just. It was just
for supplies.
Getting some supplies and just a little bit of respite for yourselves.
In that case, it probably isn't tied down. Awesome. Then, yeah, Zep will say, I must see to my ship, and leaves. I
will go off with Zep and tell him that we should just take off and deal with whoever is on this ship we can take care of, but it's all the hundreds of men that are outside of the ship. We just fly away. I will leave a note for Claudia.
Zep will say nothing, but he is pointedly going to the control room.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we don't know where Claudia is. Pointing that out.
Oh,
She's probably in the same
Assuming
room
she's
as you,
about.
We just can't see you.
I've got her. I know what to do.
But she'll look to Breton and to
Valmir.
Darius.
Well,
Valmir.
The fly spell has ended, by the way, by now.
yeah.
Valmir.
As soon as we got onto the
Gently
ship, I would
touch down.
touch down.
Oh, it would have been before then. It was a 10-minute walk.
Flies an hour, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes. Pretty sure it
Yeah,
flies
You're
10
right.
minutes.
10 minutes. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
Good to know for the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly for an hour. Oh, you're not. Bunk.
The Icarus problem.
Mm.
Mhm.
So, Darius,
I don't know what you want from me at this point.
oh, it's not what I want. It's what Father wants. You are both. Speaking of, where is your sister? I'd like to speak to her too.
Just, I'm being 100% honest with you, brother. I have absolutely no earthly idea.
Hmm.
And that's a fairly common thing lately.
Demetrius, if you'd go scour the city, I'm sure he shall turn up. He nods and begins to
Looking
move.
good, Demetrius. Very much. Healthy.
Good luck.
You look a little frazzled, Darius, but we'll catch up sometime. Father really doesn't like to be disobeyed, and now, not only that, but you've broken company orders, you and your sister. It's a little bit of a issue, and also the whole family's looking for you, as Father is in an absolute tirade right now, so me and Anton here finding you is going to solve quite a few of our own problems.
I'm glad I could be of help.
Oh, we are too.
Like Nicola couldn't get out of bed.
No. Keela is actually the only person who Father is okay with again at the moment. You know, he is trying to play us all off against one another.
If you care about that sort of thing.
There's a clear vision in him that he cares right now. Do you know what, Darius? Just be glad that Raymond didn't find you. The chaos you guys caused at his camp is set him back very badly in the family standings. Do you know his company number went down? Several times over.
I have not kept up to date on family politics. It's been a while.
Stripped of that command and placed in charge of the, what was it now, 16th company? 16th, I think.
For reference, what was it before?
He would have been probably top 5.
I think it was 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Valmir smirks at that.
I get why you did it, obviously, but
Sure you do. Pity of.
you've never been one for the family rules, so. But we can have you out of here. Just help us find Claudia, and we'll get you home. you can answer to dear old daddy, and you know, if you manage to weasel out of this one, we can get you back here.
Honestly, I don't. I mean, Claudia? That's all I can really ever do.
Hmm.
I'm not even sure she's on the ship. You've got ways, don't you? Say found me?
Correct. She's Anton then steps in. I'd rather not waste resources. He's like eyeing the rest of the party. So we're kind of going for the old-fashioned route right now.
Pragmatic.
Stupid.
So the rest of you, are you anybody doing anything right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Standing there menacingly.
Okay. Zep.
So as Zep and Zaraj and Braun head downstairs, when we have a moment alone, I'll simply say to Braun and Zaraj, get the engines going. And then Zep will disappear as he casts invisibility on himself.
I will pull up my hood and cast stealth on myself. Cast stealth.
Okay, so
I remember
with a
Just-
As good as a
39.
spell.
Well, actually, I did it wrong because I forgot how to use advantage, but now I
okay.
remember.
Just as a reminding note, from what you've visually observed, there is at least 4 guards to every door.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? Where are you looking to stealth? Because you cannot just disappear in the open. That's not how stealth works. You are.
Doing a ladder well.
It's like that gif of the dude who goes,
yeah. Sadly, it's just not. It's not Skyrim. You don't just crouch.
I was gonna say, you can't just crouch.
What are you just? What are you
"Farmer,
doing?
cast invisibility."
What are you doing to
mean-
try and avoid a guard's notice? Because you
Well,
are
are we
all being
allowed to-
heavily watched.
Go into our separate bedrooms. Like they're not following
Yeah.
us into our bedrooms.
No, they're not. They're not following you into your bedrooms. No.
The problem is, how are you then leaving that bedroom without being noticed? It's not like there's anywhere to hide once you walk out that door.
And Zaraj's room does not have windows. Specifically requested not have windows. But you can go to Ruby's room, which does.
Do you also not notice how to be invisible? That would really solve your problems. Just cast invisibility.
I mean, I can't do that, but I could go to Ruby's room and stealth, like leave the door open, like, you know, or go out the window.
Aren't there like crawl spaces between the floors?
To be more specific,
Anyone
for Bretton's case, every room is a crawl space.
Actually, if I'm gonna, when I cast invisibility, I'm gonna cast it a level higher and get Braun with it as well.
Okay.
Sorry, Zaraj.
I thought he was gonna be so nice there.
Fine. I'm cool.
Zaraj is really good at sneaking, so I kind of expect you to be able to do it yourself.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
asking for a understandable answer as to what you're attempting to do to stealth in this highly guarded
so-
situation.
So there are guards outside of the engine room. Are there guards inside of the engine room?
Are you walking up to the engine room to check?
I'm gonna go to my room. There are guards posted outside of my room, yes?
One either side of the door.
And I'm going to say, excuse me, may I please have some privacy?
I ain't gonna follow you in there, lady. It's your room.
Okay. And then I will leave my door open a crack.
Mhm.
I will stealth. And then I will hope this works because it would work on me. I'm going to use my gem of brightness to put like a laser pointer on the wall, like down the hall.
Okay.
You know, like to maybe make them be. Yep. And then I would like to, while they are distracted, sneak out.
If they were also Tabaxi, I would say you got a good chance.
Well, in my mind, I would be distracted.
Are you going to follow your own
Give me a
laser
stuff check.
pointer?
Another one?
Oh, did you roll?
Yes, I got a 28.
Okay. So how are you exiting?
So my door is open about this much.
Mhm.
And
Your
while they
laser
are
pointer in one of the
distracted,
walls?
Question, is the engine room down from my room?
No, you guys are on the same level as the engine room, if I remember correctly. Specifically, your quarters and your like mess hall, etc., is all on the same level as the engines of the observation deck.
Boy, oh boy, you're really gonna hate this, but okay.
And assuming they'll just grab me and teleport out immediately.
Am I able to get within 30 feet down the hall of the engine room?
Nobody's stopped you yet.
It's a weird way of phrasing that, Mitch.
There are 2 guards outside of the engine room door.
2 guards each side of the engine room door. Both engine room doors, because there's one either side of the ship. As in... left, right, but not left, right.
Zep and Braun are invisible, so what I will do is I will just open up the engine room door and go inside if I'm not stopped.
Okay.
Must have been the wind.
And I will leave the door open so that any unseen party members that wanted to come in might come in.
So you open the door, and you are met with another 2 guards standing right in front of the engine itself. And as you open the door, somebody grabs you in the back, just lifts you up gently if you don't resist, and says, "I'm sorry, but I'm under orders not to let you in there." So I gathered you were crawling or something along the cabins rather than just walking.
I was told by the very scary man that I was allowed to have free reign. I am good to go. I am not under arrest.
No, that's very true. But we see the engines as being another flight risk for the Reynards whilst they're on the ship in custody. So we kindly ask that you don't.
Okay.
Zep, you enter the control room to see Marcus is in there, was sat on like a wooden stool with like a local news flyer, and he's like kind of kicked up because at like the main controls there is another 4 guards, kind of like he's clearly also had the prevention from doing his job, so he's just sat accepting the situation sort of dealio. Ziraj, as you are talking to this individual, you see the door across from you open invisibly.
Okay. Now, just so I can get a mental picture, so it's guards at the door. I'm going in. They stop me, pull me back. In front of me are 2 more guards in front of the engine.
Yes.
Now, is there space between them and the engine?
It's
like they're not standing back up against it, right?
One's kind of lent on it, but one isn't.
And is there space on top of the engine, like, does it stick out like this and I can stand on top of it?
Zep, describe to me the engines.
Probably fairly large blast furnaces with a whole bunch of pipes and things going out. They'd be quite similar to steam engines.
So there would be a little space for me to
Possibly.
theoretically position myself with my back and the engines behind me, and all of the guards are in front of me.
I mean, there would certainly be space around it because you'd need to be able to do maintenance on the
Yeah.
furnace.
Okay.
So it's
then
basically a furnace with a large boiler and then what are they called? Like the pistons.
Yeah. Okay.
In the meantime, by the way, I'm flipping the emergency fire system.
I was literally.
But
Okay.
before I do that, I'm locking the door to the observation room.
Sure. You click the door to the observation room, walk up to the emergency fire control panel, and the rest of you, everyone on the ship, just anyone that's on the lower deck of the ship begins to get wet as like a foam substance hits you and then turns into water. As as like sprinklers go off everywhere, you see sort of what the what's going
I'm gonna start saying, "Fire! There's a fire on the ship. We need to get off now!" And start kind of inciting a little bit of a panic, I guess, in the general area that I'm in with the.
We
crew that I was
didn't
working.
start the fire.
Okay, give me a persuasion check.
And it's you.
Does he have any
think
sort of
that it
advantage
might be
because the
water.
sprinklers are going off?
You might think that it's just the water, but his skin does have a little bit of a shine and a shimmer to it as I activate one of his mutagens to give me advantage. I think it is.
A bit see-through as well, maybe.
Yeah, your skin and voice become malleable, allowing you to enhance your appearance and presence. So it just looks really good. You have advantage on
Very
charisma
youthful.
checks. So
He
what
just
was it?
airbrushed himself like
Yeah.
That's not what malleable means, but sure.
All right, what was it? Performance?
persuasion.
Persuasion. Advantage. Persuade.
Fucking
That'd be
fire.
a 23.
I am straight up convinced.
Okay, many members of the crew begin to take to their fire stations and begin to act as if there's a fire on the ship. Some of the guards are like looking around. Others are like pulling people aside. Like, so what's the protocol for when you have a fire on the ship? It's like they begin to asking questions. Others like,
I'm gonna start like kind of ushering people like down the hallways, clearing away like if I can, the armory cabins and stuff like that, and try and kick off a couple of our crew members to kind of just be like, hey, hold back, as I'm pushing these guards further and further down the halls.
okay, those of you on the top deck, the sprinkler system starts. Martin and Anton like look around. Are you doing anything?
Who's up here with me at this point? Is it it's Valmir, Ruby, and
Brett,
Brett.
Valmir, and Ruby, I think.
That's not good. That's for fire. We might have an issue.
The company are so incompetent they set a fire on our ship. You will be paying for this.
You think I was born yesterday? Oh, Anton, go check it out. Make sure none of our people leave their posts. Anton begins to step away.
By the way, I don't think it's ever described. Anton is much taller and a lot thinner than.
Yeah, he's a really like stick insect of an individual. In fact, Darius, do you want to describe your two brothers that are here?
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, just a weedy of man is Anton, just tall, thin, kind of looks like he could, like a stiff breeze would knock him over.
Turns sideways, stick his tongue out, he'd be a zipper.
Yeah. Martin is what you'd expect if somebody told you, like, I come from a mercenary family. I come from a family of mercenaries. Martin is who you'd expect to see mentally of that. He's just big and strong and, like, kind of the ideal.
The
yeah.
jock of the family? Like that?
He's just, he looks like...
Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
I guess so. He, both of them, you see, basically just like any previous time, anybody who's a Renard that you've seen is far better groomed than Darius is. So there's usually they don't have like a beard like he does, or they keep their hair a bit nicer, stuff like that. So he's definitely like styled. Like,
yeah, it's probably like well groomed hair, clean-ish. Clean-ish shaven, but still like there is like it's like one of those things where, you know, when even when someone's wearing clothes, you can tell by the shape of their arms and the shape of like their neck and such that they are well built, well strong. He's not as tall, I think, as some of the others, and he's not like massive in terms of height, but in gravitas as well, he does carry quite a big aura with him. Yeah.
As Valmeyer accuses them of setting the fire, he's going to, like, where are we? Just on the top deck?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna like storm away from this little group as well. As if I'm going to go and figure out what the problem is.
We go someplace else, Martin, trying to distract
we're
him.
going to stay right here, and if this ship begins to take off, well, then we're going to be far, far from here.
Suppose we can't talk this over. I have a substantial surplus of gold I could give you. Look the other way.
I've been trying to, but seems like escapades are ensuing.
Escapade.
Yeah, something tells me your crew is rapidly finding out why we've killed dragons.
Oh, well, like I said, legally speaking, we're in the right here, and...
Yeah, sorry, my alignment's chaotic good.
I don't know what that means.
Did any of the engines start?
One does begin to chug.
Okay.
We're going straight up and turning to port the whole time.
Then as soon as we're able to, Zep's taken off.
Okay.
So if Braun like comes in through the door like this, I would like to Misty step to that space in the engine so that all the guards are in front of me, and then cast Wind Wall to push all of them out of the way, but I can, like, you know, angle it so that Braun has like an access
to that's fine.
Where he's got to go.
Oh, Braun, you see Braun already hit the lever on his engine, because you saw just invisibly the two guards in front of their engine get knocked over.
He's just...
he fucking just went for it.
Okay.
That's what I expected.
Great. Yep.
This wasn't going to be a stealth mission with Braun.
No, it wasn't.
Do you think stealth is optional for this?
Well,
it's a walking suit of plate armor, essentially.
Surprised you didn't get stopped earlier.
Guard need to succeed on a strength save or take damage, and...
What's the DC on the strength save?
14.
Okay.
Ranger DC. Sad.
Oof. Yeah, oh, shit. Okay. Okay, one guard stays standing.
And,
Nice.
It's one of the ones at the door who, like, grabs onto the side of the door as this wind tunnel apparently appears from the room.
I just tell Braun, you just deal with the engine. I actually don't even know how to turn it on. I will just take care of the people.
I was gonna say, I didn't think you knew how to turn on the.
I
Okay.
have no idea.
Braun just you see the guy you see the guy that was like holding on to the door get barreled over as an invisible force just glides in, but it's enough that Braun now becomes visible and just like kind of dives for the engine and hits the fire button. Zep, you get even more power. The guards in the room with you like turn towards where your counter was, and you just see Marcus kick up from next to the stall one of the rifles and just, you might want to put those weapons down. And the guards kind of like are at a station moment of, this man has a firearm at our back right now.
Zep is going to talk into the intercom. This is Captain Zep Skyspan. I will remind all that on board my ship right now that there is only one legal authority on a sovereign vessel, and that is mine. I will not be held responsible for any consequences from your illegal attack on this ship.
I believe you have the answer there, Martin.
Very well. Zep, give me a dexterity saving throw for the ship.
Okay.
As you are
20.
forced to take evasive action.
Yeah, I don't think I properly conveyed how high level Anton was as a sorcerer.
This is an
Flash of
Anton.
Genius +5, so 18 plus modifiers.
Okay. You see, go past the observation window, a large grappling hook that seems to have been fired from a device out on the ground. And then you see it come back again as it's reeled back.
Okay.
Okay. Anton is...
How many people are on deck right now? Aside from me, Valmir, and...
Okay.
Breton and I?
So Breton, yourself,
Darius.
Martin, Darius, and then say...
Demetrius.
No, Demetrius is gone. He's out.
Demetrius
He left.
Demetrius
Well,
look for Claudia.
Well, he is currently on the ground, just off of the ship. This hasn't been very long, so he's literally like just stepped off the ship as the ship started to take off. He's kind of done that thing of it's like that step was farther than I thought. Okay. So Anton, who was just about to go down a deck, he hasn't yet, so he's on the deck.
Get off my ship.
The other two named individuals.
Yeah, is
then.
there
Yes.
other guards up there as well, or?
So yes, there's like probably about 10 heavily like more like close bodyguard sort of like these are better equipped men-at-arms than the
Sure.
ones thing, and then you've also got the two other named character. Well, one named character that you've Thorin that you did was that brought you here, the half elf, and then there is another individual that looks to be another human man who has been very close to what everything's going on but not paying much attention, but you heavily notice they kept eye fucking sort of Darius, like it has that similar thing, and they seem to be like almost like a commander in some way of this force, as well as like they seem to be a high-ranking officer within this
Sure.
force as well. So there's you're basically in with all of the high rankers of this company.
Retinue.
The retinue.
Meet. She
How's
will
my...
look.
Oops, sorry.
No,
ahead,
it's
go
just Ruby will point at Martin and then at Breton and say meat, or then she'll point to the extras or potatoes.
Breton looks over at Anton, who's kind of stopped at the stairs and say, looking at Darius, you said he's a problem, right?
I don't want to have the murder of family members on my conscience.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to stop him and strongly dissuade him from doing this again.
not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
It's gonna hurt you.
I'm gonna throw him off the ship. If he dies, he dies. It's his fault.
Anton is very. He's stronger than he looks.
So am I.
This is sort of what I've been training for. And then Bretton will look at Ruby and say, let's try not to kill any of them.
She almost looks down.
Aww.
Anton then just turns and says, you have 10 seconds to tell Zep to stop, or I will bring down the ship.
I think at that point we're in initiative. Like, I don't think there's really any other way we can do it.
Okay.
What kind of resistance force did I build up downstairs on my way up?
Well, you've managed to get a few of the ship crew with you, but this is kind of happening relatively simultaneously. We've only been like 30 seconds. You haven't been able to get anyone off yet, because this has been a max 30 seconds since the sprinklers started.
No, I was trying to cause a divide between the guards and my crewmen. Some of my crewmen getting armory items.
Right.
And able to kind of just...
Nobody's got into the armory yet, but it'll be very quick that some will.
Good.
That's if all the
good
guys.
That's gonna be. Darius has trained them somewhat over the last few months against.
Okay.
The fact that they got on the
soldiers.
ship without killing a single one, I'm already like very disappointed in your training.
Well, they didn't die.
My bigger issues. None of my spells are non-lethal. There's no such thing as a non-lethal fireball, guys. Come on.
I need to know something from Zep. Did we establish how fast the ship moves from takeoff in terms of how high above the ground it goes?
No, and Zep would at this point be ignoring like all safety protocols. Usually a ship goes like this, his would be going like this and using the engines like a rocket.
Yep.
Okay.
Total tilt back and just go.
Hold on to something.
Yeah,
Vertical
like
takeoff.
this
That's
is
a
not a
death
safe.
thing,
This is
dude.
not safe VTOL. This is emergency VTOL.
Yeah.
This is like Star Trek.
I don't care that you haven't bolted your shit down.
But wait,
So-
we're gonna call about our vehicle's extended warranty here soon, haven't we?
No, I think we're gonna get told that we take a lot of falling damage in right now.
So
Falling damage maxes out.
Anton does. So this is before we like kind of go too far. Breton and Soul will have Ruby will possibly have a reaction to this. Anton is casting a spell.
So I did not have a chance to move to check him.
Not yet. As soon as you start to go, he goes for the spell.
I mean, that's why I was kind of asking. Like, initiative would be nice to know when we're actually getting a chance to act here.
So I would say
How
you've got reactions right now.
Where am I? Because how close did Anton and I leave this little grouping? Do I also see him?
You are probably at the bottom of the stairs because you said you were going down. So you see his... Yeah, so I would say you might have a reaction here if you work out what's going on as well. Give me a quick perception check to see if you notice him casting.
Okay.
Because if not, we are going to have to take a break here as I try to build a battle map with 500 units on it. It's
do
going to
that.
be fucking hell. So,
I'm going to
yeah.
have a point of luck.
Okay.
I think you underestimated our resolve to not be fucked with.
I underestimated your... Yeah, well, okay, you don't notice this. So, Breton and Ruby. Anton is casting a spell.
no, Breton's not doing anything to stop it.
Okay. You feel all of the objects that begin to like slide across the deck that haven't had time to be battened down stopped, as also everybody, you feel the ship jolt, as if around the ship, gravity has been reversed.
Reverse gravity.
That would actually aid in the rising of the ship.
Yeah, that's the reverse problem.
We're going against gravity, and if it's increasing it, then how does the reverse gravity work?
Reverse gravity
makes gravity flow in the opposite direction. Instead of being pulled down, things are pulled up.
So we go too fast into the sky.
Yeah, it goes the other way.
So basically,
spell
he just
reverses-
accidentally lifted. Yes.
Oh,
Reverse gravity
fuck,
doesn't magnify gravity, it reverses gravity.
I thought it...
Basically, the actual purpose of that spell, basically, if he did
My head is flipped. Because you're going up, this is going...
Yeah.
So
I thought
Earth trying to pull us down, it would throw us up into the air.
So you are... Well, on the spot is you get lifted up even higher. Shake... Okay, this still works. My head read the spell wrong, but I'm still going to make it work. So you feel the whole ship shift underneath you, and everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
I have spider climb.
Yeah, no, but that won't stop you from being thrown against the ceiling.
26.
Okay. You're fine. Yeah.
I got an 18.
Oh,
6.
Ruby.
Ruby's still drunk.
She probably is a little drunk. And now she's pissed because her buzz is going away.
Yeah, so basically a creature could make a dexterity saving throw to grab onto a fixed object it can reach. Or feel the effects of this. So...
I mean, if you're in the middle of the deck, is there anything to grab onto?
No, but you do hit the roof very quickly.
Darius probably just doesn't get anything because he's in the middle of the roof. They probably didn't want him near any objects that he could have used to escape with. So
I think you could probably grab onto Martin.
Now, I just would like to point out that the way that force works is that if we are going up, and we are an unmoving thing,
you will go to the floor.
We would, smash into the floor.
Not ceiling. I've been saying ceiling. I do apologize. Yeah. You're not going to fall off the ship. It's just going to be like... it's kind of flexibility of movement. And the ship... But also, when the ship slows very suddenly at the top of this tube of 100 foot of gravity shift... That's when you're going to get thrown.
Aerodynamics might also be a little fucky as well because we'll be higher and the engine RPMs would not be where they need to be at that area. So
I think we're gonna need another flash of genius at the end of this.
This isn't good. This is like you brought a plane and somehow it went 100 feet higher instantaneously.
With no way of holding itself to
It's the anti-grav.
So it's just like immediately the plane just like goes into a flat spin.
It's either going to be really good or we're going to have a lot of firewood tonight.
Yes. So Zep, you feel you're 100 foot, and then like you get to the top of this this patch of turbulence, and you feel the engines begin to dip. I will give you an action as to right the ship from its now downward climb from after being thrown an extra 100 feet in the air than it was ready for. I know you said you're cranking the ship, so I would say this would be at an advantage, whatever you do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably at this point going, how high are we?
Depends. Let's say 300 feet now. I'd say you got 200 foot of incline. So that's just throwing you another 100.
Doing quick Zep maths, what do I reckon the range of that grappling hook would be?
Oh, you're probably out of the range of the grappling hook now.
Then I would start evening out.
Okay.
So basically using the force instead of tipping down, like trying to go sideways instead of...
Okay, so you basically full thrust forward instead to just try and keep hold distance. Okay, got it. Just give me a piloting, a ship piloting check. Now, Breton, with the force of the ship, you see Anton go to ground and then begin to slide down the deck towards Darius and Martin.
27 with Flash of Genius.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, you can pull this off. And he goes to slide past you.
This is immediately a more awkward situation than I thought. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm trained for. I guess we're gonna go ahead and do it. I haven't even drawn a weapon yet because we didn't get into initiative, so this wasn't there. I guess I grab him.
Okay.
Like I imagine Breton is also having to hang on to like a part of the banister or something and not go flying into the air.
Yeah.
He's just gonna grab onto him to hold him in place.
Yeah, just on one of the middle like masts, I think, and then you just boom. You just give me a strength check. This guy is very strong, so.
Did any of their men fall off the ship during this whole do thing?
Not yet.
28.
Oh, if we did have an anchor, that's also coming up at us at 100-foot. Like
We didn't have an anchor.
immediately.
No anchor.
Okay,
You're on
so-
beat.
It's gonna say that would be awkward as well as an anchor going through the bottom of the
Yeah,
ship.
you basically grab Cloak and drag him next to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to have to get you guys to roll initiative now.
Oh, what happened to me?
What did you want to do? Oh, yeah,
I
so
rolled
you
6.
you pancaked into the ship. The real issue is going to be the next check you make.
Okay.
As the ship begins to right itself and you are no longer pancaked into the floor. Okay. Is this initiative coming in?
Of course.
Ruby, because she is next to Breton, is gonna have a +4 to that initiative. Sorry, our initiative, our proficiency bonus went up, didn't it?
Did it?
No, it hasn't. What am I saying? It's still just +4.
No, we
A
didn't level
+4.
up recently.
You guys got a
Sorry,
level?
I was looking at my initiative and like +5.
Oh, yeah.
That seems
Zorosh,
really high
what
for
level
some
are you
reason.
right now? Just double checking this.
Ranger 9, Rogue 3, 12.
Okay,
think
yeah,
that's
you're
correct.
Within,
15.
yeah, you're in line. It's only been a couple of sessions. We haven't done a lot.
Wait, level 12?
Yeah.
I'm 2 levels
Should be
behind.
10.
We leveled up twice after we killed my dad.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah, we're level 12.
Oh yeah, we are. You're right.
This
Yeah,
fucking
you should be-
weakling.
Yes, because I got a feat. Yes, we're 12.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You definitely leveled up. Your hit points are ridiculous.
Yeah, I finally fixed my hit points because the auto hit point thing didn't do it correctly, and I had 58 hit points, and then I realized that the math was incorrect, and now I have 112. I effectively doubled my hit points because it did it wrong.
Damn.
So that was a big come up for me.
I have 83.
I am going to go old school on this. Pen and paper. Let's go.
We do have in the images thing a Skyfire top deck map.
Yes, but you are on all 3 of the decks right now. And
Good point.
so is about
I made the
200.
first deck. I haven't
So-
given it to you yet, but I made
Yeah.
the first deck.
So is about 250 others, including main named characters.
No, that's a good point.
I'm going to do this as simplistically as I can.
Groups.
Yeah. So, just because I know how ridiculous you guys, 30 to 25 initiative. Call out your initiatives if you can.
I would technically be under 25 if I had the bonus.
Yeah, you do. So
So-
would Darius, for that matter, because I was standing
And
right next to Darius.
Siraj is at 27.
Yes, 27.
So,
In the
okay.
engine room is 7.
Siraj is there. Darius, what were you?
Darius
not
is
here.
not there, but Darius has a 20.
20. Okay.
Sorry, I had to get
Okay,
out.
okay, no,
yeah.
let's go. So, this is Siraj, Martin, Ruby, Anton. Is the next best. Okay, who. So, Darius is 20, did you say?
Yeah.
Yep, with the bonus.
Okay, 20 to 25. Sorry, 20 to 15. Fucking brain.
17. Is that?
It's reversed
Breton got a-
today.
Breton got a 15.
So Zep plus Brawn. Breton. Voldin.
See, I'm not worried about my brothers hurting anybody, but I am worried about the 2 named characters you people don't know about, because they'd probably be willing to just kill Darius by slitting his throat. So
I guess I did level up. I just never updated the sheet. Say that.
Okay. 15 to 10.
That would be me.
At.
14.
You roll a d20 for the crew, actually, Zeb. I'll let you do it.
Sure. Natural 20.
Nice. The crew are going right after Darius.
This is their home.
Mm-hmm.
My home.
Yeah, do we get lair actions? That's true.
The crew will essentially access like that, James.
the crew are outnumbered 2 to 1. I think they're they're gonna have a time.
And Valmir, where are you? What's your?
A fucking 7.
You were so ready for this.
Valmir.
I didn't get impacted, but I barely even felt the low gravity bullshit. But like, I was like, just initiative.
A lot happened in immediate amount of time. There was a fire alarm, and a general uprising started, and then a gravity reversed itself.
Yep. Zaraj.
I just would like to say that just for the RP of the wind wall, so that I could get Braun into the engine room, I did not roll the damage, but it does do 3d8 bludgeoning damage on a failed save and half on a successful save. I would like to apply that damage now, if possible.
Okay. You break the necks of several people as they get thrown around the deck.
This is going to
Is there
add
anyone
up.
still living?
The guy that got barged out the way by Braun.
Lucky
Okay.
guy.
Still take half of the 3d8?
Yep.
Okay, well, for
It is.
him,
You
that
have
would be,
been. You currently are prone.
Okay.
As you feel the shift of as you begin to move, the gravity sort of equalizes out. As you feel like the ship has just, that feeling at the top of the dip of a roller coaster, or like a large incline.
Where your tummy
That's
goes up
that's
here?
where your tummy's just at. So bear in mind with your actions.
Now, can we also bear in mind that cats always land on their feet?
Yep. Depends on what, if it depends, but yeah, depending on what you do, it will determine if you land with your feet on the floor or your feet on the ceiling.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, well, the guy that's still alive will take 9 points of damage. I would like to attempt to land on my feet, but if I cannot, I will stand up from prone. Am I within range of...
Put it this way. As you move halfway through this turn, gravity is going to get a bit whiffy, so it goes a little bit 0G for a moment, shall we say. So you could, so put it this way. With a successful acrobatics check, your movement might be enhanced as you use that gravitational shift in your favor.
Yes.
Just right
No, I
now.
rolled a 9. I hate flying.
Okay. Make me a dexterity saving throw at the end of your turn. You still get your full turn of actions, but make me a dexterity saving throw at the end of your turn.
Okay, so the guy took
cat
fly
over
on
the
you.
deck.
9 points of damage.
Okay.
And he is within my movement, my 30 feet or whatever.
Oh, he's
to-
dead now.
Oh, all of them are dead.
Yeah, at least those ones.
Oh.
Not only are you charged with kidnapping Darius, you're also charged with the murder of several members.
The
Wasn't
engine
murder.
room is secure, correct?
There's no one else in the engine room, no.
But Braun is here.
Yeah.
Lawful
Okay.
mutiny.
I am
Holding on for
going
dear life.
to drop the wind wall.
Okay.
I'm going to exit the engine room, and can I close and lock the door behind me? Is there a lock on that door?
You want to lock Braun in there?
Yeah, I mean he can get out.
Oh, you can shut the
I think
door,
he
yeah.
He can probably lock it.
But I gotta ask Zep, is there a way to lock the door from the inside and then close the door and then it's stays locked?
Locking it from the outside? No.
From the inside, I'm
The
saying.
inside?
That should be a safety measure. It's like a cockpit. The pilot's.
Yeah,
locked
you
on
could
the-
probably lock it from.
Honestly, you could probably lock it from the outside because that would be the safety feature. If there's a fire that's uncontrolled,
that's
you want to
true.
close the door and you'd want to,
There probably is one of those turny, twisty locks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably.
A bulk.
So,
Or
doors
they
locked.
bulkhead.
Head door.
I would like to leave. How many guards do I see in the hall now outside of the engine
You're on the
room?
top deck. So there
Engine
is.
room.
So there's the two that got knocked over in the other engine room. There's the 4 out. Oh, there's 2 of them are gone.
Yeah, I killed a bunch.
Yeah, those guys are gone. So down the hall, you see James ushering in front of a crowd of about another 10. Some still at. Then there's another, say, 10 at their stations in their direct vision, and probably about just as many crew members. And then you also see 2 to your left, rattling a door. Like on the ground trying to rattle the door. Also, various people are like at various stages of either getting up or like prone as they've been thrown down as the ship has died. One guy that's like was rattling the door is like crouched over, like rattling it. They're trying to get into the main control room where Zep and Marcus has a couple of people with them.
Okay. Within melee range, can I approach them?
You can.
Okay, I would like to take out my swords.
Mhm.
And if they are prone, do I get a cheeky little advantage?
Yes.
Great.
They also have their backs to you.
Perfect. That's all I ever wanted, really.
Ross just came back for blood. You're just hunting.
18 to hit.
Hits.
She's hungry.
Okay.
She's gotta eat.
That's going to include my sneak attack.
It is indeed.
So total of 18 points of damage. And I forget the name of my ability right now. Planar Warrior for my other...
Yep, the force damage.
Get my force damage. So 23 points of damage.
Yeah, your sword just goes clean through the guy rattling the things back, and he instantly stops rattling and just the door is just sprayed with blood as it ejects from his mouth.
Love that. Okay. Second attack, there's a second guy with my offhand weapon. I would like to attack this guy.
Okay.
And doesn't matter, it's a nat friggin' 20.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Welcome back, Ghibli. Really missed ya. For 9 points of damage to him.
Okay. Yep, you quick swipe at him.
He is not dead though.
No. Looks hurt.
I will stand over him imposingly and
Okay.
then make my dexterity saving throw to
Yep.
see what happens to me.
Didn't you already make that? Because you got a 9.
No, this is something yet. But this is
17 dex save.
you feel yourself go up to you're like standing imposingly, and then you feel yourself rise even taller above him, and as he looks up as you then feel the back of the ceiling touch the top of your head lightly, and you boom, come back down and you land on your feet in front of him, and he's like,
Cool.
just a
And
look
that's
of
gonna be-
concern on this guy's face as he's turned from trying to get into the engine room to being assaulted by a tabaxi who just floated in front of him. Okay, that's you. Okay, it's Martin's turn.
Shall we do midpoint break?
Yes, as we've just gotten to the 8 minutes. Okay, join us in 10 minutes time as we see how this continues. Use this time to grab yourself a drink of water, and we will see you in a moment. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighboring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Dre Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope. From the brain that's wrestled and riddled with madness, a radiant pustule. Writing, art, that storytelling, that is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not that strength which in old days moved earth and heaven, that which we are, we are. One equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
If we take this job, someone is going to get hurt. Not me, of course. I'm an effing delight. You do what you do, I'll do what I do. I'll keep the red stuff inside of you.
Buddy, we live in Night City. Just breathing can get you killed.
This sort of job? Bullets flying, people dying, gangers riding, corpos trying to take what they don't already own. Doesn't matter. For us, just another day at the office.
When the world seems bleak, you follow your heart. Take that stage without hesitation and give it everything you've got.
There's a lot more to this city than you'd think. You just gotta dive beneath the surface. People like me, we dive into the depths.
voice. Hello, welcome back. Sorry, I didn't bring my voice in. We join at the top of Martin's turn. Martin turns to Darius, kind of grabs Darius by, like, because Darius, did you make the initial dex save?
Yeah.
Okay. He just grabs you by the tuft and says, Darius, this is the last chance. Get them to stop.
Is there going to be a check I have to make and opposed or anything?
Oh,
like
that's
that?
up to you if you want to check that. It's a persuade. He's trying to persuade you. It's not
He's trying to
intimidation.
persuade.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's not doing the thing where
He's
where
not.
He just,
No.
grabs my
He's
collar and pulls
he's
him
not. He's
up.
not. He's not hardballing you. He also, I think you're slightly taller than him, but it's.
It'd be close.
Yeah,
It'd be
it's
pretty
like
close.
you two
Darius
are
is
quite.
not
No, it's
tall.
more of a. It's more of a. He doesn't want to have to do this if he doesn't have to,
Right. Okay.
and he's gonna hold the rest of his turn. He's gonna hold an action.
Okay.
So Ruby, over to you.
Currently, I am yeeted.
Yeah, you're on the floor, so you're prone.
Stand back up.
And same to you as Zaraj. You feel like that feeling of riding a horse up a hill, and then when you crest the top of it, when you're going for a fast speed, where you feel your stomach sort of turn, like gravity feels like it's about to shift.
I'm sorry.
No.
No, this is all theater of the mind.
Yes.
Very well.
I am pen and papering this hardcore
Sure.
style. I have
No, that's
sticky
fine.
notes for everything.
I'm trying to make sure I get this correct. Reverse gravity. Is that centered on a specific point, or is that from the
So
south?
he made there's like variants of it, but he made basically the 100-foot tube.
It's concentration, though.
Yes, but you're at the top of it anyway, and that's why you're feeling your stomach turn. It's like it's not holding you down still, so you can move around. But the problem is like you feel like the because of the ship and the dynamic of the movement, that you might need to brace yourself for something at the end of your turn.
Cool then. Very well then.
In the same way that Zaraj had to make a second dexterity saving throw at the end of her turn.
Then I'm going. The heightened spell doesn't work like that. Fortunate. I'm going to cast Dispel Magic upon Anton.
Dispel magic on Anton.
To get removed to get rid of the gravity, because if he's concentrating on the spell, I guess.
We're not under the influence of the gravity thing anymore. Is what Midge is trying to say. We're at the
Ship
top.
is, yeah. I can't. Well,
No.
I can't target-
The ship has already reached the top of it,
Oh.
and
Yeah,
your stomach
we're
is
done
feeling
with it.
that because you're about to
Okay.
shift in gravity again. You're feeling the.
Oh.
Yeah,
If you
yes,
get
as
rid of
in,
it, it's
as
not gonna
in,
matter. It's
Got
still
you,
gonna happen.
got
yeah,
you.
the ship is
Okay.
still going to plummet a little way in a moment, and you need to be ready for it. So I'm just saying, at the end of your turn,
Then she's
and-
going to cast Fly on herself and on
okay, and on Breton.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
What's the distance
Oh,
of your cast
Fly?
for this? Yeah.
We
Like,
were right
how-
next to each other.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
sure. You
It's
feel?
Within 10 feet.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then, yes, you cast
Sure.
fly.
You okay?
I'm gonna be fine.
All right, let's get to work. That's my turn.
Okay. It is Anton's turn. He begins to speak. He begins to speak the words of a spell, and a little seep of silvery mist begins to envelop him, Bren.
Yeah, he just wants to teleport out of my grip. I really don't want to burn a third level spell slot to stop this. That's fine. He can teleport.
No,
Okay.
you won't. I'm gonna counterspell him.
The mist seeps in and he looks to you. So you're gonna counterspell the counterspell.
You didn't let me do it. But you did let Breton do it. No, you wouldn't let me do it because I was casting a spell at the same time. You let somebody else do it.
Yeah. That's what it was. Because you were the caster. You couldn't counterspell a counterspell of the original casting.
Yeah, you can counterspell a counterspell, but it can't be the person that's casting the original spell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So unless somebody else has magic on the deck,
which they do. It's.
Oh fuck me.
I only casted a 3rd level, so if
yeah, it's not going to get counted. I don't think. I'm just trying to weigh up if the other person notices or not. Which I don't think they would, because this is a bonus action spell. So the spell.
Redhead flowing in the air.
So the spell subsides. What are they gonna do? They go for a sack of powder in their bag.
Okay. I don't have anything to interrupt that.
Nope. And they throw it at Ruby.
You could just shout nerd and smack it out of their hand as a reaction.
Is it a Constitution saving throw?
It is.
It's the one that I got in with, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
It's
21.
20. Oh, or 21.
Yeah, it was 21.
Which 19. I think.
Plus 3 from Breton.
That's I had that counted in there.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
Ruby, you feel real woozy and go faint.
From a 19?
Yeah, it was a DC 21.
Yeah.
I don't have favor of the gods, do I?
No, that's soul.
It's soul. Poop.
Yeah, no gods
You are
favoring Ruby.
You are essentially.
She does this to all of them.
Asleep, but it's slightly heavier than a slap waking you up. It's basically this lasts 10 minutes.
And the fly's gone.
Yep. A concentration spell will end. And a lesser restoration will wake you.
Okay.
Beforehand.
See you all about an hour and a half when my turn comes back around.
Okay. Darius.
I need to make a roll.
This is Anton who threw it?
Yeah.
Is he not currently grappled?
Doesn't mean he can't attack.
He's not restrained.
Yeah, grappling doesn't restrain people, it just immobilizes them.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, he is throwing something directly at a flying target. Is there not an attack roll for this?
I think it's area of effect.
Is it a loose powder or is it a bag?
If it's an area of effect, he's also within like 5 feet of it because he's being held by Breton, who's right next to Ruby. Would he not also be subjected to it?
What's Ruby's AC?
21.
Okay.
Especially because we're on an open deck and wind would be blowing against them.
Gravity's kind of held in a point right now.
They call this pissing the wind.
Gravity's kind of fucky right now. So.
Gravity is kind of fucky for it.
Like
so I rolled for it.
Right there before it drops again.
I didn't hear what you said, Mitch. I'm sorry.
I said I hear that, so I rolled for it. Nothing changes.
Where?
Yeah, dex. That would make sense. Okay, I'm just gonna make I'm gonna roll d20 and I'm gonna see what's going on. I have no idea what Darius would do in this situation. Okay. Darius, like, collar being grabbed by Martin.
Oh, it's more like rose you to your feet. It's not like full, like.
Okay.
It's more like.
Okay.
It's not a harsh. Like I said, it's not like.
Like keep eye to eye contact.
He's not specifically doing it because he knows it'll make Darius uncomfortable. He's doing it just to.
It's just almost a shake to wake up kind of maneuver.
Like.
Okay, is there a talking tube somewhere nearby on the top deck?
Probably.
I'll try.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, yeah, Darius goes over to the talking tube. I succeeded the dex save originally for this. If it's
yeah. You do feel your stump start to turn.
Yeah, Darius is holding the immovable rod if it's necessary at some point to have to do that, and goes to the talking tube and just yells into it. Just Darius, just stand down. I give up. We don't have to do this. We don't have to spill any blood unnecessarily before this gets out of hand. Nobody has to die. Ghibli.
Okay.
Just stand down, everybody. I'll go. Doesn't matter. Everything's fine. Let's just not do this. And look over to Breton. Talk to Ruby when she ever gets up. Make sure she doesn't start again.
Siraj would like to be persuaded.
Oh, I could do a persuasion check if you want.
I think that's. Yeah, if you like going for a persuasion, go for a persuasion.
It's an natural 20.
Why?
Darius, is that your
20 with a plus 10? That's a 30.
Is that your first 30?
No, I've hit somebody for 30 before, but I've never done it in a social check. If I need more, I can also add a D8 to that.
Do you want to add a D8? Do you want to add a D8 to that? Actually, just as a thing, Beth, remember you have a D12 bonus bardic from the challenge earlier.
For now.
Okay.
35.
I will say you can save at the end of your turn again.
Yep. 35 was the persuasion check. So everybody do with that what you will.
My DC was 42.
It is Zep, Braun, and crew.
I am also eager to avoid bloodshed. But it must be accepted that this is a sovereign vessel. I will agree to hover 5 feet from the ground, where all Reynards may get off. Skyfire may accompany them if they wish, but then the ship is to be returned to the Skyfire adventuring party and her crew. Those are my terms. And that's my turn. No, it's not. Zep is also then going to start reinforcing the door.
I don't know if there's a window in this particular door. Zep, I'll let you decide if there's a window in this door. Probably
there wouldn't
not.
be for this.
Yeah. Zep, you go for the door and you feel there's a weight slumped against it.
Okay.
Sweet, extra
Still going to reinforce it with whatever I can.
So the crew are currently holding as the captain has just given an order. They're waiting for the reaction.
Oh, actually, no, because it would take my action to move the ship, which I will then start descending.
Well, Marcus can control the ship.
Oh, okay. Then I'll have Mark Monod because he's holding the rifle to the two.
That's
guards.
true. That's true.
Zep will
Need
do
somebody to keep the hostages.
Okay.
Zep will use his turn to start descending the ship.
Sure. Okay, the crew await your orders. Breton.
How high is the ship in the air right now?
About 300 feet.
Cool. Breton is going to, using the reverse gravity, and I think the ship is kind of listing as we've described here. How far away is Breton from the actual side of the ship? Like the side that's exposed to the air.
15 feet max.
However close Breton was, or
15 feet
was
max.
to it. Cool. Darius is basically going to hoist over and slide to the railing, and just holding Anton, going to say, "You're getting off the ship by force or amicably. Choose now."
He's just looking at you. He doesn't.
Breton throws him off the ship.
Yes!
Okay.
I love you, Breton.
It'll be fine.
Anton begins to fall.
Oh, I know he'll survive. He will survive. I'm not trying to kill him. He's just making a point at this point.
I think he has fly.
That's fine. We're 300 feet up. Fall speed is 500 feet.
Yep.
He's going to hit the ground before he has a chance to do anything. So we'll deal with that later. Breton will then move back to Ruby.
Just kill my brother? Just kill.
No, he'll survive. There's no way he's weak enough that a fall like this will kill him. If he's as strong as you say he is, he's not going to die from a fall like this. He's just going to be pissed off, which, you know what? That's fair. It's kind of going around right now. Breton will then, I guess, crawl his way back to Ruby and just cast Lesser Restoration on her.
Okay. Ruby, you wake up.
Did you do like the Mario Bowser spin from Mario 64 and like throw him off the side that way?
So long, Bowser.
I don't know how I don't know the mechanics of throwing a person, but I do know characters that are considered large can throw things up to 500 pounds, around 100 feet. So I could throw him outside of the reverse gravity if we really tested that.
Yeah, you throw him into the reverse gravity, he goes up and then goes down again.
He's basically skidding him along the top of the reverse gravity until he hits the end and just
him.
20d6.
He's a sorcerer.
Yeah, but he's also, higher level than Ruby, so he's got quite a few hit points to him.
Should have gotten Featherfall.
Ruby also tanked Khan.
He also might have Featherfall. That's entirely reasonable.
We're a flight risk. You know we could fly.
Make better choices. He was given the choice, okay, and he chose not to do anything. He was given the ultimatum.
I could have just let him go.
Don't play with the big man. Okay.
Don't negotiate with me. This is Darius you got to deal with if somebody's dead.
Okay.
That's Breton's turn.
A hard turn to come up against now. It's Volden's turn.
Yeah, what does Volden do to Darius? Because that's who's... the only person who's going to do anything to him.
Is he what kind
Human.
of like? Yeah, but like what? Is he like Magic Man, Strength Man?
You don't know.
Like, what? No, but like
Darius
his
has pointedly never said anything about these people.
Right, but what is his appearance like? You described him, but I don't remember you were describing Volden.
Volden is a human male, completely shaved head. They have a burn scar that peers up next to their neck. And in this particular moment, as everything was going on, they've been very nondescript. They've been sat to one side with a book and quill. But they have no visible weapons on them.
He's either a wizard or a bard, or a wizard-bard multiclass. Wizard. Wait.
He runs up behind Darius and punches him in the square of the back. Darius, what's your AC again?
It's let's see here. That'd be 22.
Okay, that hits.
Well, actually, it'd be less because I wouldn't have my. I specifically said I did not have any weapons
don't have your
out or
shield,
equipped,
so
I
it's
wouldn't
lower.
have my shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
take
it
the shield
still
off.
hits because that was a natural 19. Stunning strike.
Right. So con check.
I think so. Oh gosh, I haven't done a monk in ages.
Con save, yeah.
Yeah, con save, please.
Don't forget your +3.
So he's choosing to strike the one person who said, "No one has to die. Stand down."
We have a complicated history. 23.
Oh yeah, you save, and then he just keeps it there and says, and he just whispers into the back of your ear, AJ. Don't you think about going anywhere?
I wasn't. It's good. We're good.
Oh, we're good. And then he stands down. Thorin. Thorin is gripping onto the side of the ship for dear life. Doesn't like flying.
Yes, as is to do with
James.
Actually, no, that's not the dwarf. Never mind.
James.
Yes.
You have about 12 of your crew members with you, including Moses. In front of you is about the same amount of guards, but everyone around you... Did you succeed the first dex save?
I did, yes, 19.
Everyone around you kind of is like either halfway through getting up or like holding on, or like some are completely prone and like gripping onto the legs of chairs or corners of like archways as you felt the full the full weight of everything be like pressed down, so you like forced towards the floor. And now too, you feel relieved, but you do feel that pit in your stomach that everything is rising up again.
Okay, so knowing this type of sensation from having walked on walls and upside down and stuff like that, of bursting gravity and stuff,
yep,
I'm going to like make sure that I'm consciously holding on to
whichever
surface I'm adhered to, so that way any type of shifts won't throw me off. And then I will level my firearm at these guards, and I'm going to get about 10 feet from them if I'm not already. And, well, you heard my captain. What will it be?
Okay.
And if they decide to take a hostile action, I'm just going to start firing.
Okay, no problem. The mercenaries in front of you, they're not fully stood down, but they aren't taking a hostile action against you. They're just kind of getting back to their feet, and then some of them also at the end of their turn fall over again, as they do not do well as the ship begins to right itself-ish. Valmir.
Yes. What do I see when I've gone down the stairs?
As you turn the corner, you see James holding up all of these guards, and then you look to the other side and you see a load of dead bodies sort of slide around and the back of Zaraj as she holds a blade to another one's neck. After you see you see a lot of alive people kind of badly bruised from being thrown around, and you look to your right and there is just like loads of people with like broken necks and been slashed up, and Zaraj just like dripping blades at the other end of the corridor.
No one has to get hurt.
So the guards and our crew are in like two distinct like groupings.
So so you're left, you probably come in behind a lot of Reynard guards who on the far side from you is James. So James, you see Valmir. Like you guys you guys can look at each other, and behind James there's like your crew, some of your crew. And then down the rest of the corridor there's spatterings of other people, but then right at the end you see Zaraj standing over a pile of corpses, essentially.
I nod at Zaraj. Yeah, it's fair enough. I am going to cast Misty Step and appear beside James, looking at the guards.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold out my hand and say, "You heard my friend. You heard my captain. Drop your weapons now." And I'm going to cast Fear.
But as a point of reference, none of these people have drawn swords.
I thought would they not be like standing guard with spears and stuff?
They don't have weapons. In a ship, no, you wouldn't have spears. Not inside the deck. They wouldn't fit. No, I said the pikemen were specifically outside. I mean,
short swords.
They've got swords and daggers, but they're not out. They've just been
that
thrown
case,
around by turbulence, as far as like, and wet and soggy because it's still the sprinklers have only just gone off.
In that case, can I just like stay where I'm behind the guards, hold an action with my glaive out, pointed at them?
Sure.
Yeah, that then.
And you can still do the fear and stuff, but yeah, if you wanted to.
Then I'll get my own people if I do it from where I am.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, Zaraj, it's your turn.
Alrighty. Again?
Yeah, I was last in initiative. It definitely goes back to you.
I'll being persuaded by Darius, will look at the pile of corpses and just sort of shrug and just, sorry, I think we should go up to the top deck and talk to your supervisors.
I'm gonna need a cleric. The man is like clutching his neck.
I will help him up, and I would like to walk with him. I'll support him over like my shoulder and stuff, but I still have a sword at his throat. And I'd like to walk down the hallway towards our group of crew members and James and Valmir, and just start herding people to go back up to the deck so that we can see what the bad guy leadership is doing. And I'm going to continue to call them the supervisors and just like, we need to speak to the supervisors. Our captain says this, your captain, we need to discuss this. No more harm will come to you as told by Zep.
Make a persuasion check, as now the other guards notice the 8 people you have killed.
That was before I was told not to do this, but okay. To be fair.
No harm, no foul.
I will say at advantage because of the Darius and the big stand down order.
Thank God. That's 21.
Thank God.
Yes. She threw people against wall, like she threw like random guards against walls whilst basically there was zero gravity also going on, and things got a bit fucky with corners and people being. She did 3d8 like to a group of guys who were guards.
Less than 3d8 worth of person.
These were basic guards, so 12 hit points.
Yeah, the guy you're carrying has 2 HP.
And I am still readying an action that if he moves against me with his 2 HP, I will slit that throat.
Oh, it's his throat is half is on his
side?
I will complete the job. And that's my turn, hurting people.
You've heard the term wearing your heart on your sleeve. This individual is currently wearing their jugular on their shirt. So you guys do that. Martin stands up, just crosses his arms. And holds.
You gotta say something, Martin. These people aren't really good about the long silences.
He's such a cocky motherfucker. Can we just kill one of your family?
You've gotta say something.
One. I only want one.
God damn it, Marty.
Anton just got
Ruby,
tossed, dude.
You wake up.
He doesn't count.
You wake up. The ship feels like it's righting itself. You are like, I will assume that after throwing someone overboard, Breton stops you from falling off, so you're kind of in.
Yeah, probably just like holding on to the mast in one hand, like hand in the middle of the chest, or probably just like holding her by the cuff of the shirt.
Yeah, so I would say Breton rescued Ruby because
she'll right herself again and just cast fly again.
The ship doesn't feel like it's going to thing, but sure, you can do so.
Yeah, well, I know this crew.
Okay.
Better safe than sorry.
So you cast fly?
I don't have my parachute equipped, so.
Yeah, sure. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Darius, you better hope I roll low.
I don't like the
He's
fact
got a
that the
calculator on his
I don't like the
computer.
fact that the microphone moved away.
It's covering his face. He's trying to hide his expression.
Because what's happening right now is we're rolling to see if my brother's still alive.
Okay.
I mean, there's bits and pieces if they're still alive.
I mean, it's a lot of d6. 10 d6.
20 d6.
I mean, 20 d6.
Yeah, it's over 200 feet. It's
Oh, I know.
It's 1d6 for every 10 feet. He's fallen 300. And it caps out at 20d6.
Yeah. I knew that.
Because he
That's why
hit
I
terminal
advised against it.
velocity.
That's why I advised against it. But...
Sure. Okay.
I mean,
So he was
he was undamaged.
he was on board to hear the order.
Oh, he's okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
because Breton gave him the ultimatum: you can go peacefully or you can go screaming. Choice is yours, and he did not respond. So,
Nope.
As mentioned, apparently we don't like it when people give us the silent treatment. Like,
Okay. So he's going to do that.
I'm gonna
Okay.
enjoy the rest of my family.
Sure thing.
Silence makes you complacent, Anton.
Darius,
You yell down.
your turn.
Down to the ground.
It was a Commander Shepard moment. I have nothing left to say to you. How about goodbye?
Yeah. I'm not hearing any sounds of combat, so I assume we're good. Nobody's killing each other up here. You can hear it. It's good. Martin is giving the silent treatment. You all know what that is. So it's we're good. I think we agree, Zep. Just bring us down, like you said. We can all, the people that need to get off can get off, and we can put this all behind us without any bloodshed. So let's not do anything some people will regret.
Okay.
Some people, not necessarily who.
Feel free to make another persuasion check if you feel it's needed.
Yes, not necessarily for the people that have taken over the ship or tried to take over the ship. More for the crew. I don't know.
You're pleading with us right now.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're pleading with the
exactly.
party.
26. I'll tell you what that means for me. I believe the words that you say, you mean them.
Okay. Are we still in initiative? Is we gonna kill each other?
It's going to be down to the next turn that will decide this.
Cool. That's it. I'm being threatened by being punched in the spine. Well, if I move, so. Darius, just stay still.
Does he get punched again for talking?
No.
It'll happen. It's coming.
Okay. Zep, Braun, and crew.
Kill them all! No, we're just kidding.
Kill them all.
What a plot twist!
No takesy backsies.
Hoist the flag, lads!
Hoist the colors, yes.
Mask off.
Everybody hold on! Zep turns the ship upside down. Starts shaking it.
Never shall we die.
Zep,
Yes.
can you roll me a piloting check, please? As you begin to right the ship.
Oh yeah, the people at the ground haven't been told to just stop firing at the ships. So that's a
No.
problem.
That is a 28. I do not think I need to flash of genius this.
And with
Yes.
that, you bring the ship to a hover.
5 foot above the ground, as
And
promised.
you begin to maneuver to 5 foot above with ramp. But this was more just you were still correcting from the, oh, I'm 100 foot higher than I needed to be. Ship was not ready for this, sort of thing. So yes.
Can Zep land the ship while in the reverse gravity, or did the reverse gravity cease?
It's not ceased. Like as I've been explaining, he did the part of the version of the spell where you create a pillar of reverse gravity.
Sure.
And you
So
got thrown
you
out
can-
of the top of it.
We're already in the air when it went down, so we're below
And
it.
then we
We're not.
glided forwards. We're not above
Zep
it even.
and
Okay,
Zep
so you-
forced Zep instead of
Forward,
reasoning up, he went forward. So essentially, you went oh, okay, like sort of, it was like a Halo jump pad.
Sure. But see, that's the important question, really, Darius. I was just asking if the reverse gravity was still active, because it is. Your brother's alive.
Is it visible, the reverse gravity?
I imagine you can see the rocks and stuff.
I
That's
mean-
up to the DM, honestly.
Like, if we're
Okay.
going forward and you threw him off the side, I don't know.
Yeah, so if you look back and some of the stuff that was caught in the reverse gravity has since plummeted to the ground.
Okay.
Good.
Either way, he did not survive the concentration check required.
Yeah, like, that was entirely possible.
Well, I did not roll low.
I hope he's still alive.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
if he is dead, Breton will join your family.
Oh, they won't have you.
So there was
the replacement.
like the average on 20d6
Is, 60 points
60.
damage.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
60 point, like if he has 60 hit points, like that's fine. Instant death is 120, and like that's, I don't think there was any way he would die outright.
There's a company of men on the ground. He's fine.
Yeah. Presuming.
Maybe somebody fought him.
Like,
No.
They'd be dead. They
What
would actually
seems
be
like
dead.
an extreme act was a calculated guess, because Brett knows if he threw Ruby off the side of the ship, she'd survive. She wouldn't be happy about it, but she'd survive.
I don't think we just went straight. Like, it's not like there's a company and we went straight up.
no,
Like,
yo,
there
you
has
are.
been drift. We are.
It also
several
depends
hundred
on
feet
what
away.
he hit.
Yeah. Either way,
He
apparently
happened
he's
to land
alive.
on a single
Doesn't
rock on
matter.
the side of his neck. Like, oh.
I was gonna say, if he did land and miss the company.
The pillow factory, and they have all these,
Yeah, you
large
misjudged the
container
pillow
pillows.
factory and hit the tax knives and sharp pointy objects factory.
He actually
Like Dead
landed-
Rising.
He actually landed in the fire pit.
yeah, and
Watching Assassin's Creed, he keeps jumping off the air, keeps jumping. One of these days,
Yeah, no.
it's a hay bale, but it's filled with needles.
Yeah, no, he missed the pillow factory, hit the used needle recycling plant.
So, I guess are we
So?
still in initiative? Or
We will
not?
break
No.
initiative order.
Okay. Midge no longer has to run a combat with 500
Individuals. Yeah.
He got farther into it than I thought he would. I'm not gonna lie. We actually made a round of that before. It's just like, you know what? Let's just all agree to stop this because this is way too much.
Yeah, and
if I was a
and
GM,
that was
I
a
would-
round of like 6 of those holding action. Yeah. Okay. Martin signals for his company to leave the ship. Darius, you are escorted off of the ship.
That wasn't the agreement.
That was the
Yeah, it
agreement.
was.
Yes, you did.
Sure.
Yeah.
The way to
Anyone
get them
who
to stop
wants
was
to
I
leave.
surrendered.
You
I
also
don't-
said you said all Reynard company individuals
Yeah.
off of the ship. That
I'm
includes
pretty sure you said you
Darius.
wanted to leave.
Mhm.
No, I said all Reynard company. Like this is a family matter. They can sort it. In Zep's mind.
This was
In
a-
his mind, this is about saving the ship and the crew.
Darius does not bemoan that at all.
I was just following orders.
Get off my bridge.
So were the 5
Get
people that are
off
So
down
were they.
But yeah, no, Darius doesn't resist, I guess, at this
Okay.
point. I'm guessing I'm not being just allowed to walk on my own anymore at this
Oh
point.
no, Voldin has like one of those. He's making it look buddy, but he has a firm grip on your shoulder.
Been working out, huh?
James,
Gotta-
can you and the crew help me dump all of the dead bodies of the people that I killed just over the edge? Just plop them. Just
You know, it would.
I mean, the mercenaries do go and collect their dead.
Yeah, we're not heartless. Their families get like pay or get like money.
As soon as,
and in
as
fact,
soon as
Thorin, when he sees this, he begins to start taking body tags, identity tags from them.
stealing from the dead? Very poor form.
This whole time, they could have been fighting against the Eladrin Empire and chose over a petty squabble.
Who are you saying that to?
Just out loud to nobody in general.
The gods.
As they start to evacuate, Breton is not going to follow after Darius. They're getting off the ship. That's fine. He is going to make his way to where the seal is set in the chest and check on it before people start getting off the ship.
Okay.
Hmm.
You still see the golden chest.
Mhm.
Hasn't been moved. Hasn't been tampered with. as far as you can tell.
They seem like they were being professional about it, but Breton's still double checking. You never know.
Not here
He's
for what
gonna
you have.
he's gonna hold here for now. Just make sure.
Unless they had an order to take it, they probably wouldn't have.
As soon as
They know we
Reynards-
have it, unless Darius told them.
As soon as the Reynards are off, I'm going to go up to 30 feet. General battle stations, but hold.
Okay.
I want my crew
Does no
armed
one
and ready.
accompany Darius onto the ground?
Well, we're waiting long enough for anyone who wants to get off can, but no, Zep's staying on the ship for this.
Nobody?
Yeah.
I am
feel
fastening a
obligated.
grappling hook to my 50 feet of rope for
Okay.
no reason. Just sitting there,
Just in
tying
case.
it.
Okay.
Breton's
So-
checking on the seal. It seems really important right now, just in
Yep,
case.
fair enough.
Just wondering.
Okay, so exiting the ship are Darius, Valmir, Darius, and Valmir. Okay. So. About 5 minutes of quick jogging. Demetrius also gets over. Martin turns to Thorin. How many did we lose? Thorin says. Just 8. He turns to you, Darius. You're gonna write the letters home. We were being very amicable.
I know.
Like I said, Father needs to speak to you, and everybody is looking for you. It is easier if you come with us now.
I made an agreement, so I can't renege on that.
Martin turns to you, Valmir. Your company have been causing a lot of trouble for us. I get you might be doing what you think is right. This has been family matters, and that's all we've been trying to sort with.
Family matters are all well and good, and that is your own business. But I'm not a Reynard, and none of the people on that ship are Reynards. Your family matters they're not even secondary. We do what we think is right, and your family matters just don't factor into any of the calculations, and nor will they ever.
I understand that, but I did lay out
Okay.
for you that there would be legal recourse if you took action against us.
You commandeered our ship without right.
at all.
Yes, at all.
Did we stop you from doing your daily business on the ship?
I believe yes.
Shit like that.
I believe by
Daily
definition,
business could have
preventing a
been-
ship from taking off is keeping them from doing their daily business.
You invade the sovereign soil of another country, which ships generally considered are. Sorry, your legal recourse from your country doesn't fucking matter to that country. You invaded my sovereign soil.
You,
That's the one thing I do have to argue with, though. We are not a sovereign ship. Because we specifically were not allowed to keep ties with Lagring's land. That is the one argument that we can't make for that.
You're an independent enterprise.
We
are
did
still
not.
on Korzak, and there is still only one legal authority on board the ship, and that is Zep.
Zep.
We did not post our initial attempts to stop Darius fleeing. We did not draw arms. We were opening negotiations. We did not draw arms on us at all. On you at all. Once.
At the same time,
We have the legal
commandeered a
authority to act in 9 of the 12 known countries.
I'm so happy for you for that. It really warms my heart. It doesn't change anything.
You are lucky that yourselves do not have a bounty against you from us from aiding him in his criminal actions.
I think we'd be fine.
I beg to differ.
I'm gonna. Are we still just 30 feet above?
Yes, you're 30 feet
sneaking down to the ground.
Yeah, unless Zep has changed that.
It was me that stole Claudia. I was flying through the air with her.
Somewhere,
we could
somewhere
have
on the ship, Breton face palms.
you can just join us. You can just come down and have this conversation like we're...
It's fine, Ziraj. You can. It's fine.
Well,
Fine.
the party told me that I'm no longer allowed to do crimes, and now you are telling me that this is a crime.
No, it's on me. You're fine. You didn't abandon aid or anything. Nobody did. It's just me.
I understand that you feel you have some moral authority here. But moral authority doesn't always trump legal authority. Not to mention, we were just trying to have a conversation. You ran away from it.
Yeah,
Can you not?
Conversations
Can you
generally
fault us
go a
in that?
little easier when you don't start off with hostile actions. We were all in the restaurant. You could have just gone to the restaurant instead of invading our ship.
Like I said, you were a flight risk.
Yeah. And look where that got you.
I seem to be completely unharmed.
Yeah, but
Just to the side. Just.
I'm just
Anton
looking
hasn't
at
turned back up.
Those 8, was it? They seem pretty harmed.
Yes, they do.
That could have been avoided.
It
That's
could have.
on you.
I don't
Seem to
feel
be-
for it.
me-
But you're not really building your own case here for being
I don't need
morally.
to.
Well,
we seem to be talking in circles right now.
Where are you taking Darius and Valmir to go meet with Papa Reynard?
Valmir's not going anywhere unless he wants to. Darius is going home. Just come down, please. It's so much.
I don't really trust you.
You can trust me. It'll be fine. If you're wanting to be a part of this conversation, it also makes it easier.
Valmir Kensick, correct?
Correct.
So, I will walk you through why I took the actions I did.
Seemed to be.
When the infraction happened, you escaped on a skyship. You physically ran away and caused this legal matter due to flight. We had to make sure that when we finally caught up to you, that didn't instantaneously happen for these conversations to even take place. He has been avoiding us and running away from problems for way too fucking long. So,
Where Ruby is agreeing with this line of thought. Yes.
I
mean,
took
that's all
action.
well and understandable.
Mhm.
So are the actions that we took when you commandeered our ship. Surely you can understand that.
If it wasn't coming from your criminal fucking tongue, I would agree with you.
Ooh.
This is, this seems to not be helping the matters right now.
I'm not sure whose laws I violated here. How am I a criminal?
The Rien, for one.
You
What did I
didn't
do in the Rien?
Remember, it was just me. I'm the only one who broke a law.
Just
nothing. It was just me.
So you're
It was
saying
just
the
me,
whole
Martin.
aiding and abetting and facilitating your ability to do so. Yes, just because we're not.
I don't. You know me. I'm not good at talking. How would I tell them?
It's the first time I've heard Darius speak in weeks.
Wait, he can talk?
You sounded pretty convincing on the ship, I will say. But you're right, we are walking in circles. Do you submit, Darius? Father would like to speak to you.
I don't have a choice, Martin. What I said initially. I've made an agreement to stop what was about ready to happen, so I won't.
Very well. Benenton gets back.
Somewhere around here, I assume.
He let me know where he is.
Good. Okay.
We thought we would have to. We thought we could save resources on finding your sister, our sister. Time for saving resources.
It's hard to say that word, isn't it?
So, Valmir, it seems your friend is coming with us. I say that you put it to your crew if you are joining us back to the Rhiannon Empire, or going about your way.
Shit, I don't have a way back on the ship.
I have grappling.
You can relay it to Zeraj.
Yeah. So basically, the way that I envision the way I envision the ship at the moment is we're 30 feet up. The cargo bay entrance is open, and I have like a line of crew there. And if you just shout up and say, "Get me a ladder," they'll just throw a rope ladder down to you.
Okay.
I'll send one down. Yeah.
I will go and do that then.
I was escorting the soldiers off the bottom of the ship, so I would.
I was assumed everyone was off before this was happening because you then pulled the ship back up. So.
Yeah, but I'm saying I would have stayed stationed there because I would have been one of the last people to kick people off.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll get them a ladder.
Should we have a group meeting with our Captain Zep? Everyone? Besides Darius?
I think Zep's still got himself barraged in his...
Should I take off my headphones for this? I won't be a part of this conversation.
You can still contact me if you want to have a meeting. Zep would be like, "Sure, this is something that needs to be discussed."
Let me just remove these fortifications that I've built.
Zep is there. He's built like an aperture science turret out of his blunderbuss. Like, just.
Are you? There was a slight problem. Ron was not with me, so I didn't actually have the blunderbuss. So I had to make two. It is simply a 50 caliber.
Okay, yeah, you. Oh god.
Simply.
Okay.
I will put forth what I heard down there, that they're going to take him to the Rien, and do we follow, or if not, I mean, that's...
Well, we don't know where Claudia is, and does anyone have any way of contacting her with your mental magics?
We have one snapstone that... We have two snapstones in the party. Darius has one. Somebody else has... Then you have the other one.
I have one.
And I'm not bringing Soul out for this.
I have a snapstone.
I'm gonna break my snapstone. I'm gonna message Claudia, and and it works like the sending spell, correct?
Yes, for 25 words.
Claudia, Darius has submitted to your shitty family, taking him to the Rien. Where are you? Do you want to come rescue him with us?
Okay. You get back. Get your hands off me, you lanky twat!
They got Claudia.
Shit.
My bigger issue with all of this is Darius wouldn't stand up for himself.
But when it comes down to it, it is effectively a family matter, which in my mind is the same as a guild matter. It is something that he must resolve.
And he didn't want us to help.
He didn't want anyone to get hurt. There's a difference.
At the end of the day, he did not want to go to his family, and there is nothing wrong with that.
We need to make our way
Avoiding
to the Inn
them
regardless. The dragon, is it not making its way towards the Inn now?
Well, you bring up a good point. I was about to open that up, and I'll have rolled up the map that I was looking at and making a point of at dinner, and I'll unroll it and I'll trace out and point down on and say, it seemed like it was up in this direction, and it has appeared to have shifted while we were eating and enjoying our meal. So I was hoping that we'd have a moment like this. Well, not necessarily like this, but at the end of our night where I could discuss this with you all. I still have a bead on it.
Reynard Company has a reputation, and Darius has been drilling it home for as long as he's been on the ship. They're going to be upset about this. We have two ways that we could approach it. We could go there, speak to them, figure out how this clusterfuck can be amended. I'm not going to say apologize for it, but it can be amended. Or we could keep on chasing the dragon without worrying about it. And knowing what we know of Renaud, the leader of the Renaud family, he's going to throw shit at us until something sticks.
Not necessarily. Not now that Darius is with them. But if we do accompany Darius, then we must have an idea of how to legally earn his, not necessarily forgiveness, but his freedom.
Why don't we just pay them? How much can a mercenary company cost? We are so rich. We cannot just simply buy their freedom. Like...
No. See, Zaraj, the difference is we're rich, they're wealthy. The difference
we're
in that
new
is
money.
we have money, but the guys who cut their checks are wealthy.
The difference is they're being currently hired by countries. This is a whole other ball game.
As also just a flash reminder for the party of how this occurred. The reason you ended up in this situation in the first place is because you didn't pay. You could have paid to relinquish. You could have paid for Claudius Squidum, but you didn't. You went for the trial by combat, which Darius lost, and you took Claudia anyway.
Money was an option?
Yes, money was an option.
The original offer was something like 4,000 gold pieces. It was a ridiculous sum, but it was something where it's like, no, we're going to choose trial by combat instead.
It was meant to be an insultingly high amount of money.
It was meant to be an insultingly high. There was an offer. I do remember specifically there was an offer.
For context on money, by the way, because I think Darius would have shared this, and some people with our history might know this. It's essentially the Renards own an island. That's where their home is.
They don't own, technically the island has a lord, but they've got so many. Yeah, they own the lord essentially. Yeah.
So
I'm the lord.
Context. Be quiet again.
So that's the way I see it. That's what I feel we have before us. We have to kill the dragon to make it right by the situation before, but now we have the situation with the Renards to deal with. At the very least, I imagine they're going to ask for the stipend for those that died. Not a substantial sum, but a respectable one, probably somewhere in the ballpark of a couple hundred gold pieces per man for the families that have died. Plus,
bite me, they attacked
suffering.
us. They attacked us.
Why do we not simply counter-sue for emotional damage?
I don't pretend to know the legal situation. I'm just saying, from what I understand, if we're looking to appease them to make this affair go away, this is what it's going to possibly cost us.
You don't appease a bully.
I was about to say the same thing.
I'm with Ruby on this.
Appeasing them will only lead them to further pursuing us. If they so choose, they could change at a whim.
I think Darius would be the first to say no. Once you settle affairs are settled.
So what is the path forward though? What is the end game where both Darius and Claudia are on this ship with or without, the Reynard Company's blessing? Where do we get to that goal?
The Reynards are a business, so we could approach it as a business. If we do not necessarily buy Claudia's contract, we could buy Darius's.
And the only
if he is earning money for his family, then, from what I understand of the family, they would be more forgiving.
What is the legal authority that is giving them when they say, "Oh, we have legal authority"? Who is giving them this?
I would assume Korzak.
Yeah, that is a bluff. I am not sure that Korzak would uphold this, because then they would be attacking their own maritime laws. And Korzak is a trading nation. They would then have problems with Lagerun's land, they would have problems with the Skyspans. It will not go this far. But if we can come to an agreement with the Reynards themselves, I think we can sidestep this entirely.
This all started with a duel, right? Could it be ended with one?
I doubt it. They would see that as unacceptable, unless there was some other kind of leverage on top of it. And a surety that it will be upheld.
Wouldn't it depend on the man making the decision on whether they want to take the duel or not?
Guys, Blake's trying to speak.
There are two things I know about the Reynard Company. They love their reputation, and they love not losing. I don't know how they would feel about a show of face with us showing up and saying, very well, both sides have done things that feel the other has been slighted. Why not settle it? Set stipulations, set terms, settle it the old-fashioned way. It's how this all started, I believe. It's how the story goes. Darius fighting his sister, Gabrielle.
But how
they might go for it.
How can we make them sure that the terms will be abided by?
Collateral?
Because it's what the law would say.
But the law was skirted the last time, hence the problems now.
Collateral. We give them something they also could use, that we desperately need. And no, not talking about the seals.
From what they've been telling, I was not there. I believe the law was skirted by us. The Skyfire. Hence the invasion of the ship.
Which is why I'm saying I'm not sure that they would agree to a duel, because they would just say, well, you will skirt it again, and not uphold its outcome. Unless we can offer them a surety. Assurance.
Who would take over if Papa Reynard died?
I think that's a matter of question right now.
Civil war.
Currently in the standings, from all evidence that you've input, his eldest son, with Marcian a close second.
I don't know how much Darius told us about the communications he had. Like, considering there was also mentioned, though, I don't know if the rest of us know, is that his family is currently actually suffering a financial downturn because his father is not doing a great job of managing everything. I don't know if that means the family is rushing towards bankruptcy or if it's just like it's lost the full status it had before. Again, not sure how much the rest of us know that, but
they had to sell their third vacation home, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like they had to sell like the third island from the left.
Yeah.
How much did you tell of this?
Darius would have given you like a broad strokes, I guess, of things. Like generally, doesn't like talking about his family too much if he doesn't have to.
But what about Claudia? Girl talk. We hang out all the time.
That's up to Midge. I don't know.
It's how much. It depends on how much you told Claudia, because you've been finding things out outside of her. So
yeah, I think I would have shared it with Claudia.
Okay.
Because it was
anything I learned.
Because you gave a message to Ruby. Ruby said the sending, and then the sending was sent back directly to you, and you got the information back. I believe is how that worked, right?
Yeah. I shared it because I think also there was like a say hi to Claudia for me or something like that. So I think I just Claudia would know.
There's one bargaining chip I can think we can offer them, and I don't know how much they'd go for it, but it's something. We are hunting a dragon. What if we let them have it? Everything but the head. The head is already promised.
We also have a very great weapon. We could sell them the blueprints for the spell cannon. I don't like the idea, but...
No. Under no circumstances can they get their hands on that.
I agree with Ruby on this. But I do think that approaching this from a business perspective is the right one. If we make this about earning, we are far more likely to earn their ear.
Raw materials from an adult dragon would fetch an extreme sum, not least of all what they could do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bargaining point, one we can start at. And it's one that we don't have to make an immediate deal, because it's one that we says, if we don't come back with it, then we can't make a deal. If we do come back with it, then you know we're honest about it.
And what about Darius in the meantime? He is our dragon slayer after all.
Yeah, we don't have his bow. No!
I think we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Part of me just says we want to make it a business transaction. We start killing them until they run out of people and have to hire more. They lose money that way, right?
I just don't like having to purchase someone's freedom. It's...
Nor do I. Nor do I think we should appease them as bullies.
I would rather have them off of our back so that we can continue our true objectives.
It is only for Darius' sake that
It would settle things the way Darius wants. Nobody dies. As few people get hurt as possible, and he and Claudia get to live their lives. He still wants to be a Renard. He just doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be a Renard that's being chased around all day.
Then I think we have our agreement. We are going to accompany them to Longreach. Where is Reynard Island compared to where you imagine this dragon to be? That's kind of a DM question.
Yeah. As far as map,
do we even know where Reynard Island is?
He doesn't. With this, he doesn't get like a "it is here on the map" ping.
Yeah.
He only gets a directional pull, so it's impossible thing.
It's a compass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the crazy taxi arrow above his head.
Yeah, I pulled. So basically, I drew a line originally, in a sense, of where I was feeling the pull, and then I drew a second line of the direction now I'm feeling a different pull, and so it could be anything along that line, in a sense.
And the distance right now is too far to tell like exacts. It's just somewhere more easterly.
Way off yonder.
Then I would say let's go to Longreach.
Northeasterly.
Whether we branch off or not will somewhat honestly depend on where the dragon is in relation.
How shall we breach this to the Renards down below?
We will say that we will accompany them with the airship until Longreach at the very least.
Does anybody want to go down there and try and be the icebreaker? I'll volunteer if nobody wants to. I realize I threw Anton overboard, so I'm probably not the favorite person, but if they'll believe it coming from me, they'll believe it coming from anyone.
Anto is alive. While I was there, not Michael. What was the name?
Martin.
Martin did say that he'd received a message from them,
Anton.
so they're alive. I don't know what you did to make that in question, but
I threw him overboard.
I don't think you should be the one going down there. I'd not like being thrown overboard.
As the
Especially
captain of
underwater.
the ship, I see it as my responsibility.
I will accompany you.
I'm going to go. He's like, you know what? I can't say Valmir shouldn't do it because Valmir was instigating down below.
But you don't know that.
No, I don't. So that's why I can't protest it.
I was so diplomatic, you guys. It was, oof, they love me. They love me. I'm basically a Reynard now.
I'll go. I feel like I should. I just wanted to make sure that, well, our treasure vault was intact, and as far as I can tell, it seems to be.
Also, for context, just everybody, if you're where we're going, Renard Island, I guess is what we're calling it now. I forget the actual name.
Bulb.
Yeah. It's in
That's
the.
not a bad name for an island.
No, it's in the Eastmere, in the Rhiannon Empire. So it's the big island in the Eastmere.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's about the size of like
Bornholm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, since no one else suggested, the two paladins and the captain are making their way back down.
Okay. Are you lowering the ship?
No, I will use the rope ladder.
Okay.
So,
what's been going on down below?
So,
do you wish
yeah.
to speak, or
Darius,
should I, Breton?
Darius, what's been going down below? Is it just silent standing? Or?
Oh yeah, if nobody instigates, Darius does not talk. So I was just wondering if anybody was instigating.
Everyone is like licking their wounds, kind of thing.
Angry, glaring at Darius.
There's a lot of angry stares. And actually, there's one thing is Anton turns to Demetrius and says, "Go find my brother. Go look for your uncle. Help the search for Claudia."
I mean Martin, but yeah.
Martin says that
Martin.
to Demetrius.
Yeah. You said Anton says that, but yeah.
No, go find Anton, I think.
Cool.
I said. And then the two paladins and the captain make their way down.
This is so. The three people who discussed this are the person who was instigating, the person who gave the order for them to get the fuck off their ship, and the person who literally threw one of them off the ship. So this is gonna go fine, guys.
Thankfully, the person who fell is not here.
It's not here, yeah. So we'll get his menu later. I'm sure there'll be a thing later on, presumably.
You just don't want her to be there because she's got nothing nice to say.
So, are you going to speak Breton, or should I?
I will start, but if it seems like they don't want to hear what I say, then your official capacity will likely be the best.
Like how I wasn't even an option there. Thank the captain.
Brett sees himself as the senior paladin, and Zep is the captain. So.
Okay.
So we've had a discussion. We've come to what we believe is a compromise. We're not going to challenge you taking Darius. We're not going to challenge you taking Claudia. That will stay up front. We believe that making our way to Longreach towards Bulb, I believe is the name of the island, is in everyone's best interest. As the complication that has come here, we want this. Namely, we would like to keep Darius and Claudia, but in order to do that, without everybody, well, being upset about it, we need to come to an agreement with the family. And the best way to do that is to go back with you. As a start.
Mm-hmm. He empties out the pipe that he had started smoking. Rubs his nose and... Good. Well, that's settled then. Would you like to come with us now, or shall we go and you follow in the skyship, or shall we travel with you? How would you like to be this? How would you like to handle this? Well, just as a note, when we ask to have conversation, it would be great if we could come to these agreements together in future and just doing business rather than theatrics.
Had you not endangered my ship, I would have agreed. We are able to speak here now as equals because we are on equal terms.
The situation there is a little more complicated than that, but we can save that for when we're talking about this later on.
But regardless, I am quite happy to provide an escort to the airship, depending on how you are traveling yourselves.
I think Anton's going to take us, was the plan.
Anton, well, we would be traveling by... The Vanguard would be returning home instantaneously. But if you would like us all to travel together, it will be some journeying. We would have to passage in a skyship from... where's the nearest skyship port? Quite a way away. Which would take some time, and then we'd have to travel across land in Rienne as well. Well, the majority of us would just teleport bit by bit, most likely, but can't really move this that quickly either, so we can go with you, you can come with us. Ship can find its own way, the men could find their own way.
Considering the disagreements our two groups have had, I would recommend you take your own airship and we accompany that ship, but I would imagine, provide favorable rates to you with my own contacts.
It's going to be stuck together for a while, a couple of weeks.
Well, Darius, you still know how to pitch a tent, I hope.
All of my gear is still on the ship.
Go and get it then.
All right.
Well, I guess we'll see you there.
We will see you soon.
So, looking around all the Renards that are here, all the major players, except for Anton and Demetrius, has obviously just left. All the major players are here.
Mm-hmm.
So Breton has this thought in his mind: who the fuck caught Claudia?
Anton.
Yeah.
Anton is the one who caught Claudia.
Well, her message...
Yeah, it was "get off me, you lanky twat" or something like that.
Yes. And we've established Anton's lanky twat.
Yeah.
That would check out. That would in fact check out. Fair enough.
You threw him right next to Claudia. She's
that
on
would
the
be
37 stealth.
I helped! No. Breton will just say then, and I imagine when you find Anton, he's probably already got his hands on Claudia.
Darius looks over at that, because that's new information to him.
That was mostly for Darius, honestly.
So... she'll be with you during this transit, I assume, is your plan?
Oh, she'll be going ahead.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Darius, you don't take me for that much of a fool, do you?
No.
Got to have leverage in these situations.
No, I never have. I need to speak with my friends momentarily.
We'll wait.
Okay.
He begins to fill his pipe again.
You want to go back up, I'll stay here, just so they know we're not pulling anything.
I think they know that. We've made an agreement. They trust you.
Our words are bond. We haven't lied to you once.
Then Breton will just nod his head. Yeah, okay. And he'll gesture up towards the ship.
Right. One shimmying up later. So we're having to use a rope.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rope ladder. It's not just.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still using Ziraj's rope.
No, it's an unfurled rope ladder. I made a specific note of that too.
Okay. So, you're going as well? That's the plan?
The dragon's in the same direction.
Of course.
We thought we might be able to work that into some persuasions if we could basically give them what's left of the dragon in exchange for whatever stipends or exchange that might exchange for them finally giving up you and Claudia's contract.
essentially buying your contracts out.
Although at this point, I would argue it's a matter of pride for them not to give it up.
Can I ask, are you contracted to serve from birth?
Yes.
That's obnoxious.
That's how the family works.
It is how many families work.
It's just how we do things. All right.
Makes sense to me.
There are expectations.
Darius, do you want to do this?
I think I've made my opinion quite clear on what I want, but that's no longer an option.
Yes, it is.
If we
It
can
absolutely
make
is.
that an option,
I'm not willing to just murder.
No,
which would have to be the end goal of at least this. It wouldn't end cleanly, and they caught up. So
both sides have exerted far too many resources on what is effectively a petty squabble. We need to have this set aside so we can focus on what is truly important.
I think my sister's safety is not petty
compared to the safety of the world.
if we're not willing to save one, what's the point in saving more?
She is one of our own. She has traveled with us. I don't know if we are going to throw away every ally that we've ever had, but we left Gord. Everyone was okay to leave him in his situation. Now we're going to leave Darius and Claudia. I mean, it just seems as though if we can't protect our own, how can we protect the world, right? Like,
I don't even think this is about business with you, Darius. I think this is just another example of your family treating you like you're not part of the family and instead merely an asset.
Honestly, I don't care how they treat me. It's not important.
I do not understand why you think like that. Why won't you stand up for yourself? And why won't you stand up for Claudia?
I do stand up for Claudia. It's the whole
They're
reason
taking
we're
her
doing
away
this.
right now.
Which is why I was going to ask, instead of a long overseas journey on the Skyfire, if anyone would accompany me in an instantaneous teleportation, so she is not alone.
I will go with you if you ask.
Would you go with me, Siraj?
I will go with you.
If you want me to, I will too. If
One of us
only
will
reason to
have
make sure.
stay with the ship. Some of us have to protect the seal.
I have to
You
stay
have
with the ship.
you have a capable crew.
Yeah, apparently. not.
Brenton looks at this like, and I believe that's sincerely Darius, and I'm sure that tonight was an outlier because we specifically pulled everyone off the ship.
Quite literally, the person in charge of security was drunk at the time, and next to us. So
I think
I
we
don't
learned
think
a
we
good lesson
land
about
anymore.
partying.
I think I'm not going to tell you what either any of you should do. If anyone wants to come with me, they can. I would appreciate it. But
I do not understand family or how to resolve these things. When we speak to your father, how do we fix this situation? You would know more than anyone. Can we buy it? Do we have to fight for it? Do we have to go blackmail some king to have the king tell your father to stand down? Whatever it is, we will do it, but...
Yeah, what are we in for when we go with you?
the last time I saw my father, he was screaming at me as I left the banquet hall. We didn't part on good terms. At the time, I was abducted against my will when we all met. I was essentially in a self-imposed exile. So I'm not sure. I don't think this has helped. So, and I'm not exactly the reason I'm going to go is I'm not exactly sure if some of my issues have rubbed off on my sister, and I don't want her to deal with that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
How many Reynards are like you and Claudia?
Stuck at the lake.
There's a delay. There must be a delay.
Yeah, there's got to be a delay. Go ahead, like.
Just asking Zeb, how long do you think resupplying the ship is going to take?
Well, the journey from Nardathel to here was, I think, 2 weeks. If you're going all the way across Longreach, I would imagine at least 3.
Then you obviously would stay with your ship.
I think I would have to.
Motorcycle. I volunteer to go along as well.
Sep's on it.
So.
I volunteer to go with you as well, Darius.
Breton, Siraj.
Ruby as well.
Valmir?
Of course. Was never a question.
You put it best, Siraj. We don't want to lose anyone else, and making the choice to not immediately chase after gold was a difficult one. We've been making strides to try and fix that. Maybe when we get closer to Longreach, we'll hear more about it. I think once this affair is settled, assuming, we're all still intact, Stragon's dead, Darius is free, Claudia is free, maybe it's time we start looking to fix that problem too.
I was going to say, I don't particularly care about this specific dragon. As far as it pertains to Illithilia, I couldn't give a shit. If it helps us deal with the whole, void dragon coming out of an anus in the sky, yeah, definitely give a shit. But as far as it, Illithilia is thrown as I don't care. I just don't. It's not a thing I'm worried about at all. So if we catch up to the dragon and we can kill it or palm it off, okay, cool. If it leads us to know more about, the way to stop the actual big issue, great. But Illithilia can go fuck itself.
The reason we went to Illithilia was to find a lead, and we now have one to follow.
So, James, what's your... I don't know you well enough to ask you.
That's true.
Yes.
But, I will have you back. If only to raise the hairs on it a little.
It's gonna happen. Right. Well, I guess we won't have to. Well, I guess if Anton is, you threw him off a ship, right? I guess if he's okay, if he's still up for the teleportation, I think I would have to encamp tonight with my family. But so I guess
I was going to ask at the very least if they would wait for the ship to finish resupplying so we can assure that it's back in setting off before we teleported with them.
We were not supplying here. This was just a temporary stop. Oh wait, no, we were supplying.
You were supplying.
The reason we stopped here was to supply
food. It wasn't trade.
We were really low, so it was just get anything possible. I think is what
we had used for supplies helping with the crisis situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can convince them to do anything at this point. So
here's the problem. You need to start being the voice that you used on the ship to tell us to stand down. That very powerful, authoritative,
pleading
30 persuasion check. You know what I'm talking about?
What is it? I think I've heard that euphemism.
Yes,
before.
it's a saying where I come from. You need to use that voice with your family. You need to talk to them from a place of power. You are better than them. They are mercenaries and they have been in many battles, and this is very impressive. You fought dragons. You are saving the universe by capturing these seals that are going to effectively stop the universe from imploding upon itself. Like take some pride. Some pride here, Darius. You are more than just a foot soldier.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
And Ruby is right. Stand up to them. You can't let them bully you. They talk to you like this. They treat you like this because you let them.
At a certain point, enough is enough.
I will try and make them wait then for the ship, but I don't have the authority to stop them.
If you are teleporting anyway, you don't need to wait for us. We'll be 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah, for you, I think
isn't gonna change much.
Wanted to make sure the ship was supplied, not the 3 weeks, just a day, to make sure the situation was going to be
I can have that resolved. It is not in our interest to lose any more of the goodwill we already have.
We're low enough as is.
I'll go down and inform them we'll have a bigger party to go, and I guess you'll be meeting the rest of my family. Which,
oh goody.
I'm sorry.
What for?
This sounds exciting.
It's not gonna be.
I've already had so much fun, Darius.
And Darius leaves. If anybody wants to come with him, they can, but he's gonna go and try and get an idea. He's gonna try and figure out he's gonna see how's Anton feeling. Does he just want to go home and go to bed, or is he gonna camp out here for a night so that he's, not half dead? But I just get an idea of what the plan is. They're waiting, so if anybody wants to come with, they can, but it's just...
Brent is going to go down. He's still going to ask if they'll just give a brief period of time for resupply. If they say no, they say no. That's fine. It's not a deal breaker. He's just saying if they want to be amicable about it, then it might work in everybody's favor.
I think
before he does that,
might need to reset his bones, potentially.
Yeah, before Darius does fully leave, he does go into his room, and he leaves with a lot more than his normal traveling gear.
Okay.
I did not hear that. I had plugging my mic in. I apologize.
Yeah, Darius went to his room and came back out with a lot more than his normal traveling gear.
All right. So Breton will climb back down with Darius, and we'll approach Anton, Martine, and just say, "So
Is
it looks
Anton
like
there? Actually, first.
Anton's not here, no.
Yeah, this is to Martine. I just said Anton because Anton was the one who kept saying. As Darius will tell you here, the vast majority of us have agreed to teleport with you. The only request I have is that you wait for at least maybe not a full day, most of a day. We want to make sure the Skyfire is properly supplied for the journey. It'll be making its way as quick as possible to Bulb without us.
Okay. Well, Anton's not coming back till the morning.
Where was she? May I ask? How far did she get?
He didn't tell me more than he'd found her.
Right.
It kind of... It's a bit frustrating. Obviously, it means that he gets to claim the lion's share of the prestige of bringing her home, but... price to pay, I guess. So, we'll start pitching tents here, and, I guess
I'll
you...
stay here as your...
Oh yes, please pitch your... You can pitch in with me.
No.
You can say that.
I'll over here, just like 30 feet away from everyone else. Just a little pop tent.
Valdian, you'll take watch, won't you? Knew you'd like that.
It's fine.
Breton's also going to camp down here, just for support.
You don't have to. You've got a room. It's fine. It's good.
Have you got all of Claudia's things as well?
I honestly, no, that's gonna have to go. Ziraj will have to get that, I guess, or.
And at this point,
she's trapped her room so incredibly lethally.
We remember rescuing her.
Touching that.
The list of instructions to even step foot into her room.
Yeah, nah.
There was Darius bought it for her. There's an enchanted lock that he gave her that makes it's resistant to picking. So yes, her room is
on the no-go zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tight. It's gonna need a couple of people to get that open, so they'll deal with it. You know, she's rambunctious.
And at that point, the skyship's probably turning back towards the city, so we don't have to carry goods as far.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, hope you like rations. He begins to move and start setting up, ordering his men to set up camp.
Never tell the difference.
They wheeled the ballista that was hidden in the forested patch near the initial landing zone back towards the camp and start dismantling it. And yeah, the Renards begin to set up an encampment.
We'd probably be, Breton, if you're camping right here where Darius is, we're probably like in the inner ring with all the foot soldiers. In terms of superiority, we'll make consecutive rings out in a circle.
I will give everybody a long rest. Is there anything anyone would like to do overnight? As you've got about 12 hours.
Siraj, you want to play some Assassin's Creed on these guys?
I was really thinking about it,
The
man.
systematic return and murder of every single one of them.
I mean,
what was that? Must be the wind.
I'm gonna leave Krakatoa carved into a tree, and everyone's gonna talk about this massacre many years later.
The body parts be, arranged in a very esoteric
For
shape
some reason,
to
Reynard has
blame
been
on.
misspelt Roanoke.
What could that possibly mean?
I would ask Ruby if she could potentially refill my fly glove.
We'll do it before we go to bed then.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any legal background, or do you know any good lawyers? I feel like Ruby should have a lawyer on a retainer. Do you have one of those?
I know quite a few that'll
I
suck
probably
the
did, but I
life out of you.
died.
Well, James, maybe we should contact a lawyer. You know, let's get litigious. They want to play this game. I want to quote, Article 4, subsection B. I want to come in there.
How many other countries that we go through actually have like a codified legal system written
I'm
down?
still of the opinion that if this is a business transaction, we simply make it too expensive for them to come after Reynard or come after Darius and Claudia.
Oh my god, why don't we draw like a mouse on his forehead? We give him a tattoo, you know what I mean? And then this mouse with the little mouse ears will cost them so much money in legal fees that they will just get rid of him and give him to us.
I get that now.
So stupid.
So that's the end of the component cast. We have been bought out by a certain corporation. My kneecaps have been drilled in, and yes, this is a note to everybody: the mouse don't fuck around.
I would point out. I would point out as just like
FBI, open up!
I would point out character-wise, none of you have a copy of Darius's employment contract, which would be the legal document that this would be based off of.
I assume.
Let's make it so Darius is now an employee of Disney. Get him now, motherfuckers.
Well,
we own you now.
So, question about the legal contract that we don't have a copy of. Do you have a copy of it?
Darius has a copy of it, yes. Darius keeps multiple copies of it.
But I wouldn't know that, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
No, nobody's been in his room, so no.
Nobody that you
Been
know.
outside of his room, never been in his room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I went in your room one time.
Nope. That would have been something that would have been a very big point.
Okay.
If that would have, I don't
Think you've
remember
been in
that, but that would
Claudia's
have been
room.
like, yeah, I think it was Claudia, which is different.
Would Sidar have ever been in Darius's room?
Absolutely not.
When they said goodbye.
No, that was in the observation deck, because I remember we were overlooking the thing, and Darius was still getting his sea legs, air legs.
I
Whatever.
was just trying to remember if there was any time, but
No, that's a pointed like character fact. Is Darius does pain like make sure everybody stays, he makes sure nobody goes in. He locks on his door when he's not there. Everybody. So yeah. Well, actually, you would have noticed that the door is not closed when he left. So that is something that probably would jump out at you. But yeah.
Zep, in a completely unrelated Darius turn of events, that grappling hook like really scared me.
Yeah, me as well.
Is there anything we can think of for some sort of deflecting defensive measure against something like this?
The ship
Bigger
gets
engines
sealed.
to
Deflector shields.
Adamantine hull.
Airburst cannon? That we target at the hook?
Active countermeasures.
Defensive, yeah.
Well, I was just reminded that there are 2 half-built cannon on the deck right now, so...
Just a little
Speaking of
fucking
Zeph,
sea whiz.
out of
Half and
curiosity,
Have you ever
can
heard
you-
of those?
at some point in the 3 weeks travel, and I hate to take an extra this, can you get like one of those Spellfire cannon lenses for evocation and make it handheld?
Certainly try.
Imagine something that can go around a wrist, like a pop-up.
Yeah, okay.
She is Iron Woman.
I think we need to be charged with something in the chest here.
Yeah.
Maybe make
Like
it
a-
glow blue or something like this.
A ruby, so make it red.
We're already skirting the line.
Something really red
It's
and
also
gold.
owned by the mouse.
It's also owned by
Something
the.
ostentatious.
I should make you a suit of armor while I'm at it.
And a cool helmet that like comes on from, you know.
I dig it.
Oh,
Yeah, with some kind
Dimensional
of
armor coming up.
illusion to help you with targeting.
You guys are gonna
And
make me
maybe-
bring back Tarkin.
Yeah.
Midge.
I
Yes.
can blare ACDC
Just one-
along the way.
Just one thing as well. Darius does not sleep
Okay.
during the night.
No problem.
He
So then you do not
Thanks.
get the full rest.
No.
A long rest.
does not get the full rest. He is
Mhm.
keeping an eye on the front of his tent and the very familiar shape and shadow that's probably standing outside it.
So how many of you are going?
I
Yes.
think everybody but Zap.
So
I
not
think Zeb
everyone.
is.
So 1,
Yeah.
2,
Is
3,
Braun
4,
going?
5, 6,
Braun will stay with
7,
Zap.
8. Okay.
I'm assuming he has other
Breton does
mages.
sleep. Breton does not have a tent, and Breton is leaning up against his horse the entire night, basically. Just sleeping, sitting up with his weapon curled into his arm.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna.
didn't bring my
Is there
stuff- I
a
didn't
tree
bring my
anywhere
stuff down.
for James to hang upside down from?
Wondered where you were going with that.
Mm,
Dawn breaks, and Anton appears in camp. He brushes
Someone's gotta
himself
be.
off and goes to Martin's
like a
tent.
show. Do I see Claudia?
No.
She's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Darius is like super tired and also very jittery.
Yeah, this I'm describing. You're kind of seeing this through the lip of your tent, because you've probably
Yeah,
propped it so you can see. So yeah, you see Anton just like apparate into the center of camp and then walk in directly into Martin's tent. And here, you could at least knock.
He's bitchy all the time.
Brothers that hate each. Well, actually, no, they don't. Well, they're. It's weird.
Anton's the least hated because he's necessary.
We call that tolerated in
Yeah.
It's the only
How a cat views most people.
He's the head of all of the magic users. So like, yeah, he's the one that is in charge of something in everyone's camp and has a little bit of ears in every pie kind of thing. He's very necessary. Like,
smarmy bastard.
Yeah. Martin, like, you see, and you now also see that Martin's in his nicer uniform, kind of dress armor.
Darius also dons his good cloak and other necessaries. So and brushes his hair a little bit.
There was one other thing from the previous night. Zep does keep his word and arrange cheaper skyship travel for them via Skyspan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if they're going to use it though, because I think normally they're just going to teleport chunks over every day or something like that, or where they need to go. But
well, they said they were going to travel by skyship.
Theirs or ours?
Would
they were going to hire one.
Yeah, they were going to hire one.
I wasn't going to let them on ours.
Yeah, after Darius gets up and ready, he just waits for everybody or whoever decides to show up, and then. Yeah.
So, yes, Darius, you get your friends. Depending on how many depending on how many you're bringing, will depend on how many I bring. You'll be pleased to know that Volden's going to remain in charge of the company, as they've still got more recruiting to do.
I figured they'd be staying behind. They're going to go back to their job. Yeah, got work to do.
Glad they're doing well.
Why don't we just all sign up for the Reynard Company and become mercenaries? Take them down from the inside.
I'm glad you said that in Jib voice and not Ziraj voice.
Yeah, Ziraj says that, it just cuts to it outside. Somebody just throws Ziraj off the ship.
That was like, I said no, Reynard. Oh, I don't know why I was French. For some reason, my head went to the like the knights on top of the castle wall in Monty Python. So I went,
I told you a second time.
I thought then we already got one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm glad they're doing well. It's good to know. It's good. Is
so
Thorin coming with us?
How's the war going?
Yes, he has to get back to his task.
I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Well, yes, I'm assuming we're going to be meeting. I'm assuming since everyone was supposed to be following me, then that means most people are also going to be present for this.
I'm sure as soon as the word gets out that you have been apprehended, a few people will probably make their appearance.
All right. Sounds good.
So it's like a public humiliation kind of deal?
Don't know.
Not public. We wouldn't do that to the family.
Putting the tryhard in tribunal, are you?
So everybody comes, I assume? That said they were going to come? Nobody reneges on it?
So
they're not Johnny Silverhand.
Everyone that's joining, plus Thorin, Martin, and Anton, because I can have 8 plus the caster.
To remark that, Darius, you are just stunning in your fancy cloak. You are the most handsome of all the Reynards. And
Anton with a clear black eye, by the way, everybody.
It landed on his face.
No, there's marks elsewhere for that, but
yeah, I imagine that was Claudia. Got a good one in.
Everybody, please join arms. And the world begins to zoom around you, like you see the entire continent, ocean, and then more landmass span past you in but the blink of an eye, as you then appear in. It's been so strange because you've gone freezing cold to kind of a warmer environment, and now you're back to being in kind of like Scottish weather, should we say? So you just appear in relatively cold rain.
Oh, gee. New again. Yeah, we haven't had this for a while.
In front of you, you are on a beach. In front of you, there is an imposing fortification on top of a sharp cliff face. And you have been transported to Bulb, in the middle of the Estmere, and you stand at the foot of the Reynard estate. And with that, we'll leave tonight's episode there. So thank you all so much for watching. All I have to do now is to thank my players. So thank you to Beth Dillingham, to DM Blake, to Lord Lambert, to Commissar Roach, to Kinda Otter, to Mordred Viking, to Ghibli Jam. I've been Midgeman. This has been the Component Cast with another episode of the Elendor Chronicles, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Toodaloo.